I'm glad you're safe this weekend though, Morgan.
Yeah, me too.
Last week, it's a doozy.
Thank you, though. Thank you. All tire problems have been corrected.
Did you end up buying a new one or just fixing it?
Yeah, happened to buy a new one. Yeah, the tread was like gone.
Oh yeah, you were telling me, bro. Well, dude, that shit will last you. Well, I don't know. Depends how much you drive, but should be a while.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I drive like I don't know, 3 to 4 thousand miles a year. So my
I do
my
that every
Mm,
couple weeks.
my tires will
damn.
last me forever. Yeah, people are like, "You're so lucky." I'm like, my guy. You know how many years of planning and luck and directing and just to make the shit happen? Like
And directing and
it's not easy. But
you live in a major city, that's why. So everything's within a couple miles.
you know who works in the city? Lawyers, accountants, bankers. Most people
You,
don't do those jobs. Retail. Most people are doing factory work, farm work, shit like that. Everybody's got to drive at least 15, 20 minutes away for work.
yeah, I know. I drive. You know how far I drive.
Oh, that's your fault. You wanted to be a scientist, go be a scientist. I'm just posting this stream. And we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Damn, we got almost 10 people in here already. What? Y'all were excited to see me, right? Y'all, I knew it. Y'all be flirting with me, bro. I be seeing y'all. Y'all look, I am married to the game. PlayStation is my wife. All right, there we go. Oh shit, I forgot to. Damn it. Damn it. Undo. That's the awesome thing about having premium on X. Bam. Done. Sorry, guys, but this is basically a one man operation. I wish I had an assistant to tweet my stuff and share and edit and do all that stuff, but we got to do it on the fly, baby. That's, oh, shit. Can you guys hear me, or is this just Nelson that fell off? Oh, shit. Morgan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay. All right, good. I was like, fuck, we're having problems again. Shit.
you.
Last week, the stream cut off after like an hour. But either way, we are back today for round two. What up, Talgeezy? How you been, bro? I ain't been seeing you on the PS. Where you been? You all right? The family good? All right, I'm just retweeting and sharing, guys. Sorry for the quietness. You can tell Morgan is gaming, Nelson's gaming. They're concentrating. All right, bam. I'm all yours now. I'm all yours. Phone is no longer in hand. I am done tweeting and resharing and all that. But tonight, it's going to be a good one. We got Morgan back. We're going to give her a proper intro in just a second. Let's do some housekeeping things while we wait for Nelson to hop back in. But last week, we had some technical difficulties on the channel or on this podcast. Normally we go for about 2 hours, 2.5, but last week it was only about an hour, 20 minutes or so. I don't know what happened. I think it was YouTube because my internet was working, my voice chat was working, PlayStation was working, except the stream on YouTube was not working. So we called it a night because to restart the whole thing up and do all that, we was like, fuck it. And plus, Morgan was going through some personal things. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get her back in again this week. And I'm always happy when she can come on, even though she's only been on like half a time once, like 4 years ago, because she don't really fuck with me like that. But either way, we got her back tonight. So I'm excited. We may also have Mr. David Faulkner pop his head up in here. Could be now, could be later, could be never. We will see. Mr. David is all the way in Australia, about a 14-hour difference, and today's is Monday afternoon, I guess, by now. So when he's available, he comes on in. But either way, tonight we have some beautiful topics to go over with you guys. I really want to go over Crimson Desert with Morgan. I seen her playing it. I can almost guarantee you that my opinions are way different than hers, and that's going to be a fun conversation. We're also going to be talking about Starfield. We didn't get to speak on this last week. I think it got announced this week. I forget when it got announced, but either way, we're going to talk about that because there's some interesting information out there in regards to Starfield. And as somebody who played Starfield, I am interested to hear what people are going to say about this. So that's going to be another good topic. We're also going to be talking about the PlayStation pricing and just the craziness in it, and just to give you guys a little bit more information on it, because it's going to be very interesting. I don't want to talk too much because I'll get into a rant, but we're definitely going to be talking about that as well. But we are probably going to be focusing on Crimson Desert a whole lot. The updates, PSSR 2, and then I got some info on Resident Evil, Call of Duty that I want to go over with you guys. Call of Duty, nothing really about the game and the new and what's coming next. Nothing like that. It's just a cool little surprise that happened this weekend that I really would like to share with you guys and see what you guys think and why it happens. Because we've seen this happen with other games that are old as shit and all of a sudden are popping again, which is very cool to see. So yeah, it's going to be a great night, man. Of course, I am thankful that all you guys are here today. If you're in the chat, what up, Henry Talgizi? Thank you guys. Don't be shy. Hop on in here. Join the conversation with us. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on the chat the whole night. So we definitely want to hear your opinions. Fuck the Division, Andrew. Don't you bring that shit up ever again.
That game sucks, don't it? That game sucks ass.
Yeah, right. The game is fun. Yeah, I'm just fucking with Henry. Henry knows. Me and Henry got an understanding with live service, but it's a good time. And remember, we created this podcast to get you guys involved. We get tired of hearing these fucking non-gamers talk about gaming shit, so that's why we're here. Hopefully, you will come in and get involved with us. Real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to the Keep It Gaming crew members. You guys are amazing. Once again, we are holding steady at 11 members, and those members are in order from first to last. RPG88 member for 7 months. Then we have It's Just Henry Heck, 7 months. Then we have Steven Leon, 7 months. Sky Arthur, 6 months. Nelson Gaming Culture, or Nelson Gaming 12, 5 months. Lord Metroid, 2 months. Brett Siley, 26 days. David Cox, 25 days. Talgizi, 25 days. And Just Mako, 25 days. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. You guys don't even understand how much that means to me. And finally, guys, we are 7 subscribers away from 3,500 subscribers on the channel. That is fucking insane. That blows my fucking mind. I'm telling you guys, when I did this channel, I never thought I would get more than like 50. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure out of that 50, you're going to have like my mom, my dad, my sister, my nieces with her 3 accounts, and that's it. Right. So I am extremely grateful for how many people have subscribed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And stay tuned because we got more content dropping. We just released the Crimson Desert Will It Play with No Internet on Thursday. That video is doing crazy. It's about 6,000 views right now. We also did the PSSR 2.0, how to update. That came out on Tuesday. That video is going crazy. It's at 10K views right now. We also have Resident Evil Requiem. Will it play with no internet? That one's going bananas. That one's like close to 25,000 views. So it's crazy, 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 crazy. So thank you once again. And let's get into it. So, welcome to the State of Gaming podcast, where I am your host, Will 777 JP, and my co host, Mr. Nelson Gaming Culture. And we brought back Miss Morgan back again from last week. Morgan, how are
Hello,
you
hello.
doing? What have you been playing? Let the people know.
Hi, yeah, I'm good, happy to be back. Hopefully, it'll go a lot smoother this week than last week.
Facts.
But as far as what I've been playing, honestly, the majority of my week right now has been, well, the latter half of my week has been spent on Crimson Desert. Um, Definitely, I've been putting a lot of time into it. I think I have it right now about 5 or 6 hours in Crimson Desert.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. I don't really.
Hold up, hold up, hold
I
up.
say I'm enjoying
Normally,
it,
no,
but okay,
don't,
okay, good.
because that's going to be one of our topics. Normally, I
Okay, that's
do
a
want you
topic.
to do
Okay,
all
my
that, but
bad.
that's a
You're
topic.
right.
So let's leave them wanting. And mind you, guys, we're going to jump into Crimson Desert pretty quickly as well. So besides Crimson Desert, what were you playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was finishing 1348 Exvato.
Oh, did you finish it?
Um, yes, I did. My lesbian night game.
any
Um,
any sister power moves?
no, I told you I was gonna be pissed off if we ended this game with nothing. But it basically, I'm not gonna say the ending for people who actually want to play the game, but it kind of ended the way I thought it would. I kind of fit like I really like kind of guessing how the plot's gonna go when it
Hmm.
comes to story-based games, and I'm like, okay, I think this is gonna happen, and it pretty much happened the way I thought, but it ended. I think it ended well. I'm overall I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10, because that gameplay was
That
horrendous. I'm
high?
sorry.
Really? You're gonna give it a
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Interesting.
The gameplay was absolutely horrendous. It's to the point where I'm trying to lock on, there's no really a kind of a lock on system for this game where you can lock on the enemies.
Hmm.
And it almost fights like it's trying, like, or the gameplay is almost built like it's trying to be Kingdom Come Deliverance, but without the budget of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Mm.
So they're kind of like, we're making it work how we can or whatever. So like, an enemy will come at you, you're trying to, fight, swing, parry, do whatever, block, whatever. And another enemy will obviously come at you, because there's no, in this game it's not like the enemies wait on the sideline to until you finish fighting one enemy, like back in
Yeah.
the day where enemies used to just chill and wait. No,
Mm.
enemies will come at you, but I don't have any problem with that. I like that in games. It makes it feel, the fight more,
Dynamic.
stressful. Exactly. So I have no problem with that. But the issue arises for this game is that there is no indicator to let you know somebody's about to smack the shit out of you, right?
Um.
So it's like, I'm like fighting this one guy. I'm like, okay, I think I got 2 or 3 more hits before he's down. And all of a sudden I get whacked in the side of the head. And I'm like, bro, where the hell did that guy come from? I didn't even see him. He just appeared out of nowhere. And so he whacks me. And the thing is, the camera in this game is
Dog shit.
finicky. It'll lock on to whatever enemy it feels like. Like I
Mm.
can't get it to lock onto where I want. Like if there's 3 enemies there and I'm like, okay, I want to fight the guy on the left, and I'm looking at him and I'm fighting him, and then all of a sudden the camera will pan to the enemy on the right. I'm like, no, I was trying to fight the guy on the left, and it's just like I was consistently having to fight the camera to get it to focus where I want. And again, when you have a game like this where it's not a button masher, like you actually have to pay kind of attention to how you fight and hit the enemy, because you have stamina, and you can't keep hitting because you get tired, and then that's when the enemy can overtake you. So you have to be wary about your strikes. So when you're fighting the camera, you got stamina, you have all this happening, and the gameplay isn't. It feels sometimes like I'm pressing attack and it's not reading my presses, or I'm trying to parry and it does it like a second after I actually pressed it, so that it doesn't connect and I get hit.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that was happening consistently throughout the game, and it was just pissing me off. But and on top of that, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I want to get the plat for this game. But one of the trophies to get the platinum is you have to go throughout the entire game
Getting
without
hit.
dying.
Oh,
No, without
I
dying,
hate
which is
those.
freaking impossible. Like, again, because this gameplay is just not good. And then like one of the other trophies is you have to go through the last boss fight without getting hit. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting the plat unless they fix that. And they tweeted that they heard the complaints about the gameplay and that they were kind of looking into it. So we'll see if they tweak it later. Maybe I'll revisit it or whatever. But I will say the highlights for this game, for me personally, I thought the voice acting was very well done.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jennifer English is in it, but she plays the damsel in distress. So we really don't get to see her a lot because the point of the game is you're looking for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's not, she's at the beginning and in some other parts of the game, but she's not the main character that is
So
in the
did
game. But the main
did the majority of the budget go to Jennifer English 4 lines in the game?
I think so. And like a lot of I will say that the vistas in this game, like a lot of the locations were very like beautiful. Like, we could see the scenery, the mountains in the background and like the castles and stuff like that. Like it was a very pretty game for as far as the locations goes. But the frame rate was kind of all over the place. I could tell it was like bouncing around in like the 40s and 50s, even though it was supposed to be performance mode.
Yeah.
And then like like that as far as like the quality, like the fidelity, it looked like it was like 1080p dynamic. Like it was just not great, and there was a lot of like aliasing and popping and stuff going on, a lot of technical issues with the game. And then sometimes my character would like literally freeze mid-combat to the point where I had to restart like the checkpoint, and then at one point I had to turn off the game, turn it back on to get it to work. A lot of technical issues with this game. And I get it, it's a small indie team, like they're not big. I think they have like 10 or 15 people working on this game or whatever, so like I get it. But at the end of the day, like I am a story first kind of gamer. Like, like I will like.
I will tolerate shitty gameplay for a good story.
Exactly. I will let certain shit slide if I like the story, right? And I really did like the story.
Crimson Desert Conf is going to be so good because let me ask you something real quick so people have a quick understanding, and then we'll pass it to Nelson. But you gave it a 7 out of 10. What other games, if you can remember, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, just so people kind of understand your rating a little bit. What other game have you given it a 7 out of 10 so they can kind of compare the two?
That's a good question.
If you don't know, we'll come back to you. If you remember, if not, that's cool because I don't remember games that I rate.
Callisto Protocol, I think I gave it like
interesting.
a 7 out of 10. At least like during the launch, because there was a lot of issues with the game at launch because when I played it. But I actually recently went back to play it because the PSSR update. It's much better than it was obviously at launch.
Callisto,
and I would probably rate it higher.
Callisto does like 8K, or it's got the capability.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that they added that. I was like, oh wow.
No, I actually like that game. So does Nelson. We both got the DLC on there.
I think I would give. I don't know if you've ever played the As Dusk Falls.
Which one?
Game? As Dusk Falls. It was originally like an Xbox exclusive.
Yep,
that's probably
I remember
where I
that.
would give a 7. I really like the story for that.
Okay.
I'll probably get that one around a 7 out of 10 too.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you that because we give ratings a lot of the times, and it gives people good like, okay, well, you gave 8 out of 10 for this game, so that way they can kind of see, because if somebody's interested in South of Midnight. If they can if they can compare, be like, oh, well, I played this game, and to me, that's a 7 out of 10. Maybe they're willing to play it or ignore it completely. So very cool. All right, Nelson. Before we pass it to Nelson, what is up, Sub-Zero? How you doing, bro? What games did you play this week?
Rushing Beat X.
Oh, a new one, not the usual. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't play I was in bed most of the weekend. My back's all fucked up and my shoulders all fucked up. I'm old. Everything hurts.
Okay, so how's the game? What was it about? I don't know.
It's a beat 'em up. I'm loving it. It's a fun game. I don't like how easily you can die, but it's like that's the only thing is there's levels of difficulty, but unlimited continues. So it's kind of like, okay, I die. There's really no.
I'm cool with that, actually. I like games that do that where, you die pretty quickly, but we're not going to start you at the beginning of the chapter or some shit, where you got to go back and do the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever. which I fuck with that. Anything
Yeah,
else?
and you start with 3 characters, and then the farther you get in the game, sometimes you beat one of the characters, and then they join your squad. So if you're in an area where it's like, man, I need some muscle, instead of speed here, I'll change to a burly character or something like that, so I could toss some people around.
Yeah, a little tankier one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've been playing Marathon. Main reason is because I've been holding off for Crimson Desert, which we can get into. That's our very first topic. So I've been looking forward to Crimson Desert since basically I saw it. Now, my hype for Crimson Desert wasn't like over the top, right? It's not like if I heard Horizon 3 was coming out, I would pee myself, right? But I was still excited for Crimson Desert. Why? Open world, my shit, obviously. I saw some cool shit, fucking dragons and flying and this medieval high fantasy type of swag that I absolutely love. So I was ready for it. And I've been following the game pretty closely. So I decided to not really get myself involved into any kind of big games and just play this live service game, wait for the game to come out, because as soon as Crimson Desert came out, I was going to invest 100, 200 hours into that motherfucker. However long it took to beat it, that's all I was going to play. So the game came out on Thursday, and it's got some pretty mixed reviews, which now that I think about it, this is one of the few times that I can think of where the reviewers and the gamers are agreeing. Like, I can't remember the last time that we got a Metacritic and people just agreed on it. Like, unless it's like a high score, obviously, then people, yeah, most part. But I'm saying like between 70 and the 80s. Like, you don't see that too often. So it was interesting that it happened with Crimson Desert. But 2 million sold in the first day. 2 million. And people have to remember that it's not like 2 million people woke up that day to go buy the game. It's just all the pre-orders and all that. It amounted to 2 million all accumulating on the same time. But that's still huge, huge, huge numbers. I expect this game to probably sell pretty well unless, I don't know. We'll get into that in a second. But I continue the Steam will probably stay about the same until word gets out and we can actually see gamers putting gameplay up, actual gamers putting the performance up there. Because let's be real, we didn't see no performance for this shit except for Digital Foundry, and Digital Foundry completely fucking fooled me. So yeah, we're gonna get into Crimson Desert first, and Morgan has a couple more hours than me in Crimson Desert, so I'm gonna let her go over her experience with Crimson Desert, and then we'll go over a couple questions that I specifically have written down for the panel here. And Nelson can also get involved because these aren't just Crimson Desert questions. These are going to be questions in gaming in general that we can apply to Crimson Desert. So it's going to be a very good conversation. I'm hoping. I think it will be. I hope you guys enjoy it because Crimson Desert is a huge game, man. I mean, fuck, people are saying a couple hundred hours. I mean, people are saying 10 hours just to get your bearings. You know what I mean? What up, Darkborn? How you doing? So let's start it with Morgan. Morgan, you say you had about 6 hours. I stopped you rudely from going into it and shit. I hope you can forgive me. I just wanted to make that a first topic of the evening. But you said you got about 5-6 hours. I myself have half of that, so I got about 3.5 hours. But before we get too far into going over all the things that you like and don't like and what are some issues or things that are perfect, just tell me that first hour, right? Because I want to see if your experience was close to mine or completely different. Just tell me what you were thinking that first hour you played the game. Like, were you confused? Did you know where to go? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
I'm gonna be real. That first hour like kicked my ass. I was like, turned on the game. I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, the intro for what it was. I was like, okay, you know, our clan gets attacked or whatever. Okay, cool. You know, they're giving us the little tutorial about the different, you know, combat moves, and I'm just like, okay, tap an X to run. Oh God, here we go, GTA all over again. You know, showing us different move sets, and I'm just like, why are these buttons the way they are? Like, and then like, 'cause, you know, they start telling us, oh, if you want to, hey, here's how to jump, and you should, if you want to jump while you run, you gotta, double tap X, press square while holding L2, and then jump on
Yep.
your right foot 2 times, and
Yep.
then press, R3, and then you can jump. And I'm just like, why is there making this shit so overly complicated? And then so I'm follow, the first hour I'm following the main story. I haven't really veered off yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going it through, and like I get to a certain part where there's like puzzles, and I'm like, oh my god, how the fuck do I do this? I'm just like, and they show me one time about the move I'm supposed to use in order to solve this puzzle. I'm like, I couldn't remember. I had to go back and like look. I was like, what was the move again? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there finicking with the puzzle for like 30 to 40 minutes trying to figure it out, and I'm like, oh, I finally figured it out. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with the story. I'm like, okay, so I died and then I came back and now I'm in like the sky. But
Yeah.
then my character Cliff seems okay with everything that has transpired. He does not seem phased by anything that is going on.
Anything. Yeah.
Like this just is a normal Wednesday for his ass. He's just,
Yeah.
oh, we're here again. And I'm like, who are you people?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Why did you bring me
Yeah.
to this sky? Why are you telling me to jump off and be like, oh, you can fly now, so it's all cool? And you go back down there and you keep finding your clan, do your thing. And I'm just like, so we're just gonna just act like I wasn't just in the heavens a second ago.
Yeah. Like you didn't just get thrown off and
like I didn't just basically die and got my neck slashed thrown into a river, and for whatever reason I resurrected like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I still don't know how that happened.
And let me just stop you right there because basically I agree. That was my exact same reaction, but I don't know if it's something masochist inside of me or what, but that got me a little excited. And the reason it got me a little excited is because, and then just to give you a little bit of backstory. So I don't know, a few months ago, we saw, I don't know if it was a leak or somebody who tried the game out in one of these events said that the controls are like fucked up, right? And they said that the reason they're that crazy is because of all the combos you're able to do later on, which will make sense as you play the game more. So I expected that, and that kind of excited me, but I thought that because the story, the way that it started, I felt like, and it could still happen, I only have a few hours into it, but I'm done playing the game for now, but I felt like maybe this is all some ruse, right? To like, bam, hit you in the face with a bomb ass story. Because to me, when a game starts like that, kind of like Returnal, right? You start off with Returnal. Well, I don't want to use Returnal because you actually start off with a story in Returnal, but you gain the story as you go on, and when the story parts hit you, they hit, right? So that was kind of why I got a little bit excited. But then after that initial hour. Oh, and the other thing I want to talk about in the initial hour, and I don't know if you got affected by this, but was also the performance. The performance was not that good for me. The visuals were not that good for me either. Not that the game isn't beautiful, because it is. It's just like all the little details, like you can see shimmering in the ground, all the, I call them the pixelated corners. So like you're looking at a bookshelf and the whole corner around the bookshelf looks like squarey and glittery or pixelated and shimmery and shit. And I saw a lot of that. Also, the motion blur, even though I had it turned off, everything felt like it was constantly moving, which in theory is very cool because that means that the world is alive and there's wind blowing from the north to the south to the east to the west, and there's, trees swaying, and it feels very realistic, just like if you were to walk in a park or something like that. But because of that muddiness in it, it became very fucking distracting to me. So that was another part of my first hour. Did you experience that at all?
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of shimmering when I'm playing, and there's a lot of pop in.
A lot of pop in.
Traversing, as I'm, on my horse, I see things pop into the scene as I'm coming in, and I'm just like, oh, which is kind of funny because I was watching an interview with the, I think it was the lead communication for
Will Powers.
Yeah, and
Will
he was
Powers,
talking about
bitch
how
ass.
I don't want to say we solved pop in, but
fuck him.
we got pretty close.
I can't stand
maybe
him.
They were talking about PC or something.
Yeah, he has to have been talking about PC because he fucking straight up lied. That motherfucker. And I did a whole rant during my in our video about Will Powers. because this motherfucker's such a gaslighter. Not only did he get defensive because console gamers kept asking, "Where's the console gameplay of this game?" He snapped back at us like, "Why are you getting so defensive, my guy? There's nothing to
I saw
hide."
he was blocking some people.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
like,
I
"I
saw
told
that.
you that there's nothing." He said, "There's nothing to hide." Like, I don't know how many times I got. He basically, it's like your kid asking you from, "Mom, can I get McDonald's?" McDonald's? No, we got it at home. Why you keep asking me? Like, that's the same vibe I got. And then when we get home, we ain't got no fucking food. I was like, this bitch. You just say you're broke. Just say that, mom. So, fuck Will Powers. My video's catching steam, so I hope he catches that motherfucker. Because he just fucking made things way worse. But anyways, so performance issues, story obviously is severely lacking. What are some positive things that you found within that first hour, 2 hours, maybe?
Um, I will say, like you said earlier, the world is really beautiful. It's really captivating. I really like the NPCs and the way they talk to you and interact with you.
Hmm.
And I ran into, the first time I ran into an NPC, he told me to like basically fuck off, and I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I was,
Me too.
I was
I was
like,
laughing my
what?
ass off. Hmm.
He was like, bro, if you don't fuck off, I was just like, oh shit, oh he talking shit. Okay.
Yep.
I was, kind of exploring the first initial city in Crimson Desert, that we're next to with our tent, our home base or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was kind of exploring outside of the city, and I kind of found this homeless camp where a bunch of homeless people were living, where they ask you for money or whatever.
Yep.
And I was just kind of walking in it, like looking at
I went
all the
broke. I
homeless,
was getting everybody money.
and yeah, and one of them attached to my leg, like literally grabbed my leg and was like, "Give me money," and I was just like, "What?" Like I realized I couldn't move my character, like I could my character kept trying to shake him off, and he wouldn't get off, and so basically I had to give him money in order to get him off. And I thought that was hilarious. I was like, "That's a great little feature. That's funny." So
And
yeah, I
hold
gave
that
him 10.
thought with that because I actually want to talk. That's going to be one of the questions I ask you guys because the world itself, I can tell that it's going to be something crazy. It's going to
Yeah.
be something very unique and unique in the sense, not that we've never seen it before, but something that we don't see at all nowadays. It's like we used to see it, but now we don't. And I don't think we've ever seen it to this level. But hold to that question or hold to that thought real quick, Morgan, because the next question I got for you guys is so when I play an open world RPG or an open world game, what I like to do is I like to knock out a couple of the main missions right away. And the reason I do that is so I can get my bearings in the world. So I know, okay, this is how this universe works, right? These are the bad people. These are the good people. These are the people in between. I know that if I eat a plant, I can get health. If I eat an apple, I can get health. I know that if I drop from this height, I can get hurt. I know that if I get shot 5 times, that knocks me out completely. If I die, I got to restart from here. I just try to get my bearings and kind of like the rules of the world. Do you play like that? Or what do you do first when you get into a game like this, like an open world game?
Well, once again, me and you were on the same wavelength because I literally do the same thing. Like, I don't like to just, especially when it comes to like open world and a game
Hmm.
like this that has such a vast open world with many different biomes and things like that.
Yeah.
I like to, like you said, get my bearings with like a first couple missions so I can understand what the game is trying to, tell me, right?
Hmm.
And then after I complete a couple missions and I feel comfortable, I'm like, okay, let me start exploring a little bit.
Yes.
And then I do maybe some side stuff or,
Hmm.
find some little, you get sidetracked with some little things that are around the world. And then I'm like, okay, after I do a few of those, then I'm going to go back to the main mission. And I kind of rotate, basically how I'm feeling. Like, okay, if I've done too many main missions, I'm like,
Yep.
okay, let me switch it up by doing some side stuff. So that's kind of how I play. I play very
Identical.
similar to that.
What about you,
Yeah.
Nelson? Do you play like us or do you do something a little bit different
With what?
with open worlds when you go in? Do you like to do a couple missions first so you get your bearings, or do you just like to
I do a
step
couple of
in?
missions first, and then I do all side quests for like until I
Can't no
don't know
more?
what's going on. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So I think you're the type of person similar to us where we use the main story to kind of push us forward in the campaign, kind of tell us where to go next, or maybe if we
Yep.
clear the
Otherwise,
side quest
you'll
out
run into shit on the side that'll be way above
you.
you can. Yeah.
All right, I wanted to get that out of the way first because in Crimson Desert, not one time did I felt that I had my bearings on anything. Morgan, you've played it longer. Did you ever get that feeling at all?
That I have my bearings.
Yes.
No, not really. Not really. Because I swear, every time I think I understand the game, they throw a brand new mechanic at me, and I'm like, listen, I can't even remember the last 5 that you told me. Now you're,
Yeah.
oh, to do this move. But I like it's. But I'm at a point though where I'm still intrigued with it. Like I'm still like, okay, okay, you're confusing me, but it's to a point where I'm interested to know what the hell is going on. Like maybe I'll find the answer if I keep digging, you know.
Keep digging.
Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel with it. Like it's
So,
to the like because I do get open world fatigue a lot,
uh-huh.
right? I just even
I
in
don't think
games
this
where
game will give you that at all. I don't think
okay,
this will.
that's what I'm hoping because even in games or franchises that I love, like Assassin's Creed, eventually after 30 to 40 hours, I'm like, okay, it's time to wrap this up. It's time to
Yeah.
wrap this up.
Especially like when I'm
So
getting
I'm
to the
like,
last like 20%, like I'm really trying to get it
yeah.
fucking done. Like it's really irking me to keep
I'm like, all
playing.
right, let's get to the end. Let me see the climax. Let's see what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm hoping that I don't get it with this, but I'm enjoying it. Like I did a couple of bounties, and it kind of reminded me of like Red Dead 2 type bounties, where you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta tie him up, get on your horse and take him to the constable, and
Mm-hmm.
so they can lock him up and stuff like that. I
Love it.
enjoyed doing that. That was funny. But yeah,
So I
I'm
don't
hoping to
know.
discover new things.
I don't know that the world is going to be the type that doesn't bore you, but just based on like, when's the last time you bumped into an NPC that says fuck off or grabs your leg or is actually asking for money or just like all the things we've
Exactly.
seen in there? Like, we don't see that often. So I think that's going to give the world a kind of a life that we just haven't experienced as like a Grand Theft Auto type of world or a Red Dead type of world.
Mm.
Like, to me, the world is at that level. But I received my deluxe edition of the game last night, which I honestly
Lucky
kind of
bastard.
forgot about it, but I am sending it back. I am not going to open it. I am returning it back to Amazon. Um, I am done with Crimson
What?
Desert. So it's either that or I'm going to try to sell it on eBay if I can get a little bit of money off of it. Unless somebody that I know wants to buy it, then I'll sell it to them at cost or whatever. But I am done. And the reason I am done with Crimson Desert, have you ever, Morgan, have you ever started cleaning your kitchen and you found something in your kitchen that didn't belong in there? So then you go take it to the, I don't know, your bedroom because it belongs in your bedroom. And then you get to your bedroom and you go to put that thing that you found in the kitchen. And then when you put it away, you're like, oh shit, I can't put it away because I got a mess here. Then you start cleaning that up. Then you find something that belongs in the bathroom. So then you go to the bathroom, put it away, and same thing. Oh, fuck, I got to clean this little area because the bathroom's a mess. And next thing you know, 3 hours later, you haven't cleaned your fucking kitchen, but now every room in your house is a fucking mess. That ever happened to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, that's absolutely happened to me.
That's what this fucking game gives me. It irks me to no fucking tomorrow. And look, if it was just that, I can deal with it, right? I'll Google some shit. I'll go watch a YouTuber explain some shit. I will look for a fucking platinum channel that can show me how to do something. But then when you include muddy visuals, performance drops, clunky ass fucking controls, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, everything is scatterbrained, how the fuck am I supposed to say and ground myself and continue on with a game that is also going to demand 100 to 200 hours out of you? I can't deal with that. At a
That's
bare
why I was very
minimum,
leery about that game, and I
and
just surpassed it.
and yes, absolutely. And look, I'm not here to say the game is bad because I really think this could end up being one of the best games of the generation. But the problem is that the dev team failed at their fucking jobs because making a game is not just about making fun gameplay. It's not just about making a good story. It's not just about fucking good art style and good pacing and good music. What is the point of you having a Lamborghini if you're in your fucking driveway if it doesn't have a steering wheel? What is the fucking point? You can't do shit with it. You can't drive it. What is the point of having a TV but you can only turn it on with a fucking controller or a remote and you don't have the remote? You can't do shit with it. What can you do with a PlayStation 5 with no power cable? There's nothing you can fucking do with it. And that's how I feel about Crimson Desert. One of the biggest reasons I never stuck with Destiny was because I came into Destiny in 2025. I did what I could.
You don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
That's why I stopped playing, was because like you can't just jump back into it because I don't know what the hell happened in the last 18 months.
Yeah. So
I don't.
We can only speak, or at least I can only speak on the first 3 hours or so of the game. Morgan has a little bit longer than that, and I'm going to continue to ask her a couple more questions about Crimson Desert because she does have more time. And this is just how I feel about the game. But this is the very first time that I have bought a game and I'm returning it. I'm returning this motherfucker. And if you guys have been following me for any length of time, you know that I am not a performance snob. If you guys remember when the PS5 Pro got announced, who remembers Will saying, "What a fucking waste. Who needs that shit?" Remember that? Now, yes, I was speaking a little bit ignorantly at the time because I didn't know what was capable on there, right? They told me the regular PlayStation 5 could do 60 frames per second, and I was doing 60 frames per second on games. So why would I need a PS5 Pro for $200 more if we could still do 60 frames per second? But then they included the visual quality and all that, right? So, okay, there's some value proposition there. But as you guys know, I am the first to say, just give me a solid 40 frames per second with beautiful graphics, and I'm in there like booty hair. I'm in there like swimwear. I'm not a big performance kind of guy. When I hear PC guys talk about, yeah, I could do 347 frames, like, my dick is so big. Like, okay, good for you, bro. You can't even see that many fucking frames. Like, it means nothing. But when a game can't even get its basic fundamentals, such as look visible, perform well, what the fuck? What like, for what? Right? So, Morgan, what do you think about what I just said? Do you disagree, agree? Do you think that I'm full of shit? Do you think I'm being a fucking bitch about it? What do you think? Remember, there's no censorship in this channel, so we say whatever we want.
I think that's a fair assessment of the game. I mean, especially when you look at something like Crimson Desert and the mass marketing that they did. You know, they did a whole bunch of marketing for this game. You know, they kind of partnered with Digital Foundry to kind of show off the game a lot on PC.
Oh, and we know how they partner with Digital Foundry. Oh my, I'll get into that in a second. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. And then, you know, obviously they showed the PS5 Pro footage specifically where it was just PS5 Pro. And then, you know, everybody's like, okay, that's cool, but where are the base consoles?
Only Bug Hill has frame drops. You know, only, yeah, shut up. Fucking Digital Foundry can suck my ass. All right, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. They did just tweet like right before the show started that they put out another patch for the game. And I will say that the Pearl Abyss team have been very active in listening to the feedback, and they've been very quick with the patches and you know trying to get, you know, use that feedback and be proactive and not be like some developers do where they're just like, the game is perfect, you just hate on the game, you know,
you just need glasses.
So I will give them exactly. So I will give them kudos on listening and trying.
Joe, did you see that one dude from Digital Foundry? They showed up at his house.
No.
Yeah, the one dude with the pudgy face. They showed up at his house to review the game.
Pudgy face. Oh, the one that they brought him the actual PS5 Pro console. They wouldn't just give him the damn code.
They knocked on his door. He didn't even know they were coming and shit.
Oh god.
Just fucking.
That's insane. And Morgan, I'm glad you brought that up too, real quick, because Will saying these things is not just something that Will is saying. Them fuckers themselves admitted that the controls need fucking work and that they're gonna come out with
Yeah.
a patch. Them motherfuckers themselves said that they were using AI and they need to come out with a fucking patch. So it ain't just John Lindemann. Thank you, RPG. So it ain't just because Will's got a fucking stick up his ass. No, these are just facts. And also, I've been defending Crimson Desert for a while. I was defending them a year ago when people were asking for PS5 shit. I'm like, my guy, they're a year away. Let them do what they got to do. But then a couple months ago, I started to point my finger at them as well because now I was like, all right, you're in your marketing cycle for this game to come out and you haven't given us the information. Now we know why. Back to you, Morgan. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So I would want to ask you though, Will, like with how quick they are with the patches and trying to update the game, is there a point that you would come back if they, fix like the frame rate and the,
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
issues that you have with it? Okay.
Yeah, I said that at the beginning. I said that I see the game has a ton of potential.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come back to it, just not right now. I mean, look, I set aside my whole month for this game, so part of this is an emotional thing on my end too because I did set aside the time. Like, look, I normally beat 5 to 10 games a month, right? This game, I've beat one because I didn't want to get involved into a big 20, 30, 40 hour game where I knew I was going to cut off when Crimson Desert came in. Now, I regret that because I could have been at game 4 or 5 by now. But more than that, I feel disrespected. And not because the game came out broken, but because they straight up lied, right? Even if we go back to Cyberpunk, which, by the way, Cyberpunk was on a different level of brokenness. I mean, Crimson Desert's nowhere near that. But I'm just using Cyberpunk as an example because it was a huge game, right? Highly anticipated. But even Cyberpunk didn't really like lie to us the way that they did. And they lied to us in a different way, which we can talk about later. But they lied to us in a different way. And not just that they lied in a different way, but they did not get defensive with the gamers when we were calling them out, just wanting to see shit. Will Powers snapped on gamers, is blocking gamers for asking the simple question. And that to me is offensive because they did it on purpose. Cyberpunk did it on purpose as well too, but this just feels more dirty. And I don't know if I'm expressing myself correctly, but it just feels more dirty. And what sucks even worse is that you have the PC gamer who is really having a good time with the game. Performance isn't really an issue with them. They still have the clunky controls, right? Because the keyboard and mouse is not perfect. Crimson Desert said it themselves, but they're a little bit better off than we are. I would say they're a level 8 where we're like a level 3 or 4 as far as performance goes. So they are going through a totally different experience than we are.
I will say though that versus me playing on my PS5 Pro, I did have a friend that was playing it on her 5090 and it was like crashing for her.
Oh, it was
like,
too? Okay.
But she, they figured it, it was an ex-girlfriend, but he figured it out and
Okay.
figured out how to
Well, I mean, you got
to
a scientist. I wish I had a scientist helping me on my PS5.
and even for Omar it was
Same thing.
He said it's not
My
it's
bad.
the same thing.
Then I take that back. Because all I could see is what people are sharing online, and I should have went to the people that actually know, like Nate, right, and asked them. But I didn't know if he got the game or not. I don't, But and the other thing too is, so the reason I talked about the PC stuff is because those guys having, or from what I've seen, right, Morgan just said that there are issues, but the mixed views, because the game is at a 70 something. I would say the majority of those positive reviews are from either the zealots, right? The people that are either just 100% positive, that they don't really look at the negative. They can oversee anything. This is their type of game. This is what they've been waiting for. They don't care what bad stuff is in it, just like we have with Cyberpunk in 2020, right? And then you have the people who they're what I call arcade gamers, right? What an arcade gamer is you go to the arcade, you put a quarter in, you play. It's gameplay, right? You're not there really normally. There's some people that are, but those are rare. You're not there to like play a game from start to finish to get the story, because that isn't how arcade games are built. They're high octane fucking gameplay out the ass. Normally 1v1, right? And as long as they have good gameplay, that's all they really care about. And that's what I mean by an arcade gamer. And I think this game, from the people that you hear say shit like this is an awesome game, this is a great game, are arcade gamers. Where you can put them in Crimson Desert, you can put them in Call of Duty, you can put them in Minecraft where they create their own fun. And that is where they like to be. But when you're gamers like us, where we need structure, we need, okay, what are the rules of this game, right? What can I not do? What boundaries can I go over? What things can I get away with? It becomes a completely different type of environment. And I don't know if you guys understood that, but what do you think, Morgan?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. For the most part, like Crimson Desert, like I said, it's an enigma to me, and I think the ratings for the game are fair. Like the
Yeah.
fact that it's kind of middle of the ground.
Hmm.
Like some people like it, some people don't. Like I think that is a fair assessment for this game because for me going into Crimson Desert, I pretty much knew that the story was going to be like either non-existent or just
Yeah.
not very good because the way they were avoiding talking about the story, I was like, yeah, this
Oh
is going to
yeah.
be like a Elden Ring or Zelda situation when it comes to the story. Like it's just
Hmm.
not going to be like the main focus. The main focus is exploration of the world and figuring out how there's 78 different ways to do something,
Hmm.
um, which is fine. And I was like, I don't particularly like those type of games, but I'm going to give that. I'm gonna give Crimson Desert a fair shake because I like the way it looks, I like the setting, I like the visuals for it. So I'm like, all right, I'll be open to trying it. Um, and like I'm having fun with it right now, but again, that could absolutely change because the way open world fatigue hits me in the face sometimes, I could love something for 1 second and then after 30, 40 hours I'm like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this repetitiveness of this game. I want to move on to something else, right? Because I as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I am a very narrative based type of gamer. Like I live for a good story, so that's kind of where I reside in my,
Yeah.
for me when it comes to gaming. But I understand everybody's like, I'm not, when it comes to Crimson Desert, I'm not one of these gamers who are, just because I'm enjoying it, I'm getting upset at other people who are not. Because I've seen a lot of that.
What?
People getting mad that other gamers are enjoying
I am.
or
I'm
not
one of those.
enjoying
I'm one of those people.
Crimson Desert.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I am, and look, I don't. That normally doesn't happen with me, but I am. I am really pissed off. I just told Henry this actually. I'm actually more mad at the people who are saying they're having a good time with the game versus the game actually being broken itself. Because I
Yeah.
just feel like they're trying to bullshit me. Either they're trying to
Oh
bullshit me
man.
or their like is shitty. And it's not because the
Oh
game is bad, right? Because I really think
yeah.
this is a good game, man. The gameplay to me is phenomenal. I mean, you see fucking people, you know, what do you call it?
Dude, I've been suplexing dudes all.
Suplexing people.
Yeah, I've been doing it all yesterday. I was just suplexing dudes, clotheslining them. Like it was
Yes.
crazy.
And just the interactions you have with the people, I just think it was such a half-assed effort by the developer. And anybody who looked at this from a logical kind of point of view, like, okay, the frames dip, the visuals are muddy. I got to change my TV from 120 to 60 hertz. I can't play in performance. I got to play in balance. It's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
come on, my guy. Like, you're making excuses at this point of
Yeah, I
why.
saw people giving advice.
What was that?
I said, yeah, I saw people giving advice on how to do the settings for the game, and I was just like, oh. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you got to take it off the 120 hertz mode, or you got to put it in balance mode, or you got to
Yeah.
unplug your HDMI and plug it back in. Like, I was just like, oh, y'all, come on,
Yeah.
let's chill out on that.
I just don't like that. I don't like that. I mean, look, if you're having fun suplexing people and shit like that, yeah, like I get why you're having fun and you should have fun. And I hope you are having fun. You know what I mean? But to sit there and tell me that the fun is outweighing the issues the game has is like, well, so you just don't care about. So why don't you just play Roblox? You know what I mean? Like Roblox has a million different. And then I sent the invite. Roblox has a million different type of games. It's just shitty quality, no story. You know what I mean? It's like like we pay $70 for these games. These are supposed to be high quality because they're high budget. They're charging a high price. So I expect for the game at a bare minimum to perform well. And I'm not saying I need it to perform at 120 frames locked 4K. No, absolutely not. I just need it to be between 50 to 60 frames. I don't need there to be pop-ins like the way there is, and I don't need the visuals to look muddy as fuck. If you're looking at the screen right now, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Nate, in just a second. If you look at the screen right now and you see me in Returnal, look at this fauna. You can literally count the leaves on this fucking branch right here. In Crimson Desert, you can't do that. But anyway, Nate is in the house. And Nate, how you been, bro? And let the people know what you want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, and Nate, hold up, because you're muted. You got to share your voice. Nelson, walk a Nate through it. You got to go to settings, share your voice.
And they knows how.
I
Yeah, I
finished it.
forget.
I
I
fixed it.
forget.
I fixed it already.
All right. Well, let me
Yeah.
just double check you're on here.
Yeah, you should be good now.
But Nate been chasing the wife around here
All right.
out of breath.
Man, I'm literally about to run back out the door in 5 minutes. That's why
You're
I was
good.
like, let me jump in and explain real quick.
We can hear you
But
now.
but yeah, like I was saying, like a lot of what it is just like a lot of people are, don't get me wrong, are really kind of excusing some of the lack of direction that the game has as like a, you know, they're like, oh, but we're used to games not holding our hand. And I'm like, okay, look, I get the don't hold your hand crowd is all super excited to be completely lost and act like everybody's acting like they're the smartest person in the room. Everybody's Einstein and can solve every puzzle in zero point 0.5 seconds. And if you don't, you stupid. Like, no, that's not like, come on, man. Like, people, we know people be lying.
No, I already.
That is true,
like,
Nate.
But yeah, people be lying. Like we've seen it with Elden Ring, right?
Yeah.
Like where people will be like, the moon sword of penultimate truth will show up, and then all of a sudden your whole timeline got it. But everybody's like, yeah, man, I just found it, bro. Like, no, you didn't. You looked at the YouTube video that guy posted that found it.
Yeah.
Because you got to spin around 3 times, look at the sky, jump in the you know, the lake of Silverstone, and then, you know, swim 600 feet, and then, you know, sing a song. Like, no, you didn't know that. Like, so,
Facts.
like, you know, but there are some basic stuff that I'm just like, I need people to stop the cap. Like, look, man, yes, the game can let you kind of go and be off on your own, and that's cool. Like, you know, me and Morgan are playing at the same time, as well as, you know, Priscilla, so we can help each other out as we figure stuff out, right? Everybody's not going to have that, right? And some basic things are not explained very well, and it's okay. Like, there's a fix for that. They're patching it, right? I've seen somebody misunderstand something basic, right? Which was, you know, how you got supplies to your camp. And it was a completely understandable mistake. The way it was written, he thought he had to do something, you know, at his camp versus just opening the map and then basically commanding them, you know. But again, how you write it, how you do these instructions is always tested very thoroughly, right? On a lot of these games, like, so there is no question, right? And when this game is pretty complicated, right, there's a ton of things you can do. Well, the more things you can do, the better you need to explain certain things, because there's, like you said, there's 12 ways to do it. Like, I seen somebody, you know, they were talking about, and like, you know, I don't even like Destin, right? But he was right about this. He had done something to basically set the arrow on fire, and he did it right. But the problem is the game is kind of janky. So even though he did it right, it didn't work the first time.
I seen
So
that.
he
Yeah.
wasn't. So he wasn't stupid. It just didn't work. And then like since he knew he had confirmation that that was the right way to do it, then he was like, oh, okay, it just didn't work. But how are you supposed to know that? You know what I'm saying? Like you need the systems in place to work the way as intended. You know, especially in a game where you're trying to have as little as hand holding as possible, right?
Yeah.
Like you need it to work, because then if it don't work, now I'm looking lost and I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And he was right. There's a ton of people who, you know, there's over 15,000 views on how to light an arrow on fire, like for a reason, you know. So I think, you know, you're having a back and forth with some of these people where, you know, like I said, some people do thrive on that. They love it. You know, their whole system, the way they go about playing games works for them that way. And, you know, they're enjoying it. At least, you know, like you said, specifically, a lot of them are on PC. But they're enjoying what they're experiencing, right? One person in particular, I know exactly the way this person plays games, number one. So I know why they're enjoying it, because they're a very beeline gamer. So despite you could do all this crazy stuff in the game, they're going from point A to point B, and they'll most likely be one of the first people to finish this game. Watch what I say. I'll tell you who it is later. And then about a week from now, if that, you'll see that they're one of the first people to complete the game, because it's very obvious. But again, like the polarizing opinions are there. Like Morgan was saying, the reviews are kind of on point. I fully understand the 70 scores. A lot of these people, you got to remember, were also playing the game without the day one patch, right? And we're playing after it, and there's still some significant issues, right? This game has a pretty limited inventory starting off, and you have a fundamental broken system when you don't have a storage. The storage doesn't work. Like that's a problem. Like everybody I know has hit inventory full several times by now, right? You know, it's just like money is not the easiest thing to come by as well. Then even when you get the money, you got to go back and locate the dude who was selling the pouch. Like again, like the world is beautiful. What's there has great potential. That, you know, it's an incredible world that they've built, but they got to refine it now, right? And I think that's the key difference that you're seeing here. You're seeing this incredible world without that high level of polish that we're used to. And some people refer to that as hand-holding. I don't really care. They can refer to whatever they want. But that high level of polish is what creates these great masterpieces in these games that flow really well, and you don't have to ask all these questions. Yes, if you want to do something super crazy or you want to be overpowered in a certain way, yes, there's always guides for that. Stuff like that's not what we're saying. We're saying the fundamentals of the game are not broken, and everybody should understand how to do them. And you'll see, you know, people. Again, you know, as the controls are getting changed, like you said, you're not the only person saying it. And this was the same thing for, I went through the same thing with Starfield, right? People told me, oh, they don't need maps in the city. Oh, they don't need this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but everything I said, they're updating the game and they're adding it because I'm right.
Yep.
Like I understand game design fundamentals and the things that should be there, whether you want them there or not, right?
Yep.
You know, they need to be there because everybody who wants to play this game is, you know, should be able to understand and play the game within a certain realm. Nobody's complaining about the difficulty, all that other stuff, but there's systems in the game that people don't even know are there because they're never really explained, or there's a half-second pop-up, and people are like, how did you not see that? You know?
Well, I saw a dude who said he didn't even find fast traveling until like 30 hours in. Like, he didn't even know it was there. And I'm like, I've heard that numerous times, not just with fast traveling, but a lot of other things. But I'm so glad you came on and explained it, because I just couldn't put it into words. And you're absolutely right. It's not that, and like I said already, it's not that I hate the game. I'm just pissed off that it's fundamentally broken, and then you add on all these other issues on top of it, and it's like, well, why should I play this right now when I could just wait 6 months or a year till they look? I was just playing Star Wars Outlaws last night, and that game is beautiful and everything plays well. It wasn't like that on day one.
I was gonna say it definitely wasn't like that day one.
No.
Morgan knows she got the platinum, and I cried the whole time she was doing it, all in her ear. Why you still playing that shit? Why you still doing it? Like,
I was wondering why she bought that shit to begin with.
Let me live. man.
Yeah, she was like, I'm
a big
enjoying
Star
it.
Wars fan, man.
Me too. I bought the game day one as
I
well.
was until Disney bought their ass.
Yeah, and that's my reason for returning the game. It's not that I have no intentions of playing it, but I have no intentions of
Yeah.
playing it the state it's at and giving them $90 for the deluxe edition. I'll pay them the 15, and then the game will be completely done.
Yeah, no, I agree, and like I said, I'm not our thing, and you guys, Nelson's been on our show, obviously. But you will see the one thing that I never give nobody a pass, including PlayStation. If you release something and it's slipping, I'm gonna call it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the same thing now. Like Morgan was messing with. This is another game that it happened to, right? Callisto Protocol.
Yep.
And we all played it when it first came out. And now you got a bunch of people who go back to it now, and they're like, why were people so harsh on this game? And I'm like, dude, everything I complained about was modified and changed. Like, I'm not telling you you're wrong. Like, the game is great now. Like, it's they fixed all the things. He used to take 3.5 minutes, to heal himself. Now he does it in 0.5 seconds. Yep. And I'm like, of course you don't have a problem with the healing time, because the healing time that I had no longer exists,
Yeah.
So yeah, I always tell people, man, just keep in mind when you're playing something later, like, cool, like, and that's what we complain about. That's why I'm loud. That's why I always tell people, I hate when people say, don't be critical if you don't like it. I hate that. No, be hella critical. Say what it is. Don't just say that shit sucks. Like, I agree, that's not helpful. Like, tell them what sucks, bro. Like, be helpful. That feedback feeds into them, and I'm telling you, bro, I hate when people say it doesn't work, because it has worked, and they tell you it works. The same thing with Cyberpunk, like you brought up. Cyberpunk, I watched the whole thing with their development team, where they have their community team has a feed that it basically aggregates everything, and the things that come up the most move towards the top of the list for the team to work on. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people think that the devs aren't listening, bro. They want good feedback.
Yeah.
That's what makes these games better. So yeah, you're not wrong. You're on point. And like I said, man, no problem with people enjoying it, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the kind of the divide. It's like people are making excuses for some of the stuff that's just bad direction as like not hand holding. And I'm like, I know the difference though. And a lot of people, despite some of them playing games as long as some of us have, some of them longer, it's just some people, I just don't have the knack for it. And they don't understand it, right? The same way some people now, like plenty of people are PC gamers or have become PC gamers, and there's fundamental things they still don't understand about PCs that I do. You know what I'm saying? That's just a difference, right? So it's just like, I get that some people misidentify or don't understand. Like, no, I get that you don't mind and you figured it out, but that is bad game design.
No, you're a yellow paint gamer.
Yeah. Then they go with that. No, you just want the yellow paint.
Now. You're the yellow paint gamer.
Yeah. And it went from, and it don't get it twisted. I seen the slight. It went from yellow paint to, you just a Sony over the shoulder gamer. Man, please. I done forgot how many games I played than you played. Like, talking about I'm a yellow paint. Man, get out of here. Talk about y'all just always looking at a shot to take shots at PlayStation because they games be on top and they games be highly polished. When they done, stop being a hater and call out the nonsense in the game and make the game better, bro. Like, if people wasn't so worried about all this nonsense, bro, we would have better games. But it's up to us to call it out.
I've been saying that. Look, last year I beat 70 games. The year before that, I beat 100. The year before that, I can't even remember. I have beaten more games and forgotten about games that you have beaten in your entire life. All right?
Exactly.
So don't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about when I play everything from Power Wash Simulator to fucking Expedition 33 to whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Shit, Crime Scene Simulator.
I always tell people I play games in genres people don't even know exist. Like, I don't need no validation. I be playing from Twitter and all the other stuff. Like, I be playing games in my corner, and it be like half the time, even says that Morgan is like, what the hell is that? What are you playing? If I'm playing something random on PC or something. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it happens. But yeah, I'm gonna run around the corner. I gotta go pick her up from the gym.
And Nate's
so
been
she can
playing
get
the
ready.
shit out out of Y robots again. I'm like, what the hell is it? I'm like, this shit look like an NES game. What the fuck?
Bro, Super Robot Wars is amazing, sir,
Super
and I will not accept any slander on the Super Robot Wars. You know that game is amazing.
I played the demo or the trial. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll show you what it's really like one day. But Bandai Namco has the entire game blocked from screenshots because of copyrighted music that plays from animes like Gundam and stuff. So I got to use my capture card to do that. But I'll show y'all one day. But yeah, y'all keep having fun. I'm gonna keep listening.
Appreciate you, Anita, and you're gonna come back. I never invited you because you don't like me, so I just like
you don't never come. Man, I promise I will come back.
All right, bro. I got you. Right. Thanks, Nate, so much for coming on, and I'm so thankful he did because he put the words right in my mouth that I wanted to say, and I'm so thankful that he did say it because he's right, man. And look, like I said from the beginning, Morgan said it. I'm not trying to hate on the game and just say it's a piece of shit. I told you guys exactly my reasons of why I'm returning that motherfucker. And even while saying I'm returning it, I'm still saying all the potentials in it. I even told Morgan, I don't think this will be one of those open world games that you're going to get exhausted of. I don't know. I got 3.5 hours in. This is just me guesstimating based on my experience and based what I've played and based on how I know Morgan and all that. So look, if you see the bullshit, call the bullshit out because we're in 2026, man. Before Morgan and Nelson, what was the complaint? Hardware is not powerful enough. Hardware doesn't have the tools that we need to make the games. Well, what now? We got a $700 fucking some dollar PS5 Pro that is running like a 4090. Like, what's your excuse now? Even the base PS5. Like, what is your excuse now? Even the Switch 2's got upgraded hardware. What is your excuse now? But Morgan, anything else you have to add on to what Nate said or Crimson Desert before we move on?
No, I mean, Nate said it best. You know, it's a lot of people out here trying to dismiss the the negatives of this game, and I think it's because a lot of people unfortunately tie their personalities to games. Like they place bets on games, right? They're like, okay, this is the next big thing. This game is going to be the thing that elevates gaming. It's going to be the next big breakthrough. So I'm expecting this game to be massive. I'm expecting it to be a hit. I'm going to champion it. I'm excited about it. And then it comes out and it doesn't meet the zeitgeist expectations. With this one, it's like a Metacritic that's a 78, 79. And so now you got people, trying to be like, no, it's the journalists that they just don't know how to play the game, or it's the YouTubers, they don't know what they're doing. It's the gamers, they're just casuals. That's why it's a 79. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the lies. The game is everything that you want it to be. Again,
she's right.
People do this shit all the time. I see this with every like AAA game that comes out. There's and it doesn't meet expectations. There are these gamers that will just die on this hill that you have. That
who it reminds me of? Fucking who's on Mucha's show? What's his name?
Oh, Death Singer.
Death Singer. Everything. Well. They never made games that blah 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 blah. Like, why didn't nobody play it? Well, they've never been games that sold a lot or blah blah blah. It's like, well, nobody gives a shit if they ain't making money. They ain't making sense, bitch.
Yeah.
They'll be like, but this game is doing something that no one's ever tried before, so of course it's gonna have problems. I'm like, at the end of the day, you're still asking people to pay money for it.
Yeah,
it's still a product.
And to add to what Morgan was saying is, she's 100% right about that. And I saw another comparison real quick. People were saying that this is like Zelda Breath of the Wild, but with realistic graphics. And look, I tried Zelda. I stuck in like 20 hours into that motherfucker, and I felt the same exact way I do about Crimson Desert as far as like the no hand holding for you simpletons out there that don't understand all the shit that we just explained, and all you hear is no yellow paint, no hand holding. So I'll just use those terms so you can understand what I'm trying to say, and also for lack of vocabulary. I'm gonna be real, but in Crimson Desert, I was actually excited to get that part of Zelda Breath of the Wild in that game. I really was, because of the quality of the game. But then all the shit that we talked about came up, and now I'm just going to have to wait. And the other reason I'm waiting is, as I said, I'm not a performance snob, so I really don't care too much about it. But this is a game that I normally play games day one, even if they have issues. but this game just has too many, and I want to play this game so much, and I want to enjoy it so much that I'm gonna do what the smart thing to do that I should do for all games that have these issues is just wait. So I'll see Crimson Desert in, who knows, a couple weeks, a couple months, or a couple years. We will see. But anything else, guys, before we move on to our next topic?
No, well
No.
said.
All right, cool. And also, I want to appreciate all you guys for hanging there with us while we're trying to kind of explain um, Crimson Desert and how I feel and Morgan feels. And shout out to Nate once again. But let's talk about something fun real quick because Starfield is coming out for PlayStation. And that's exciting. Not just as exciting, but it's actually in the top of the charts in sales. Uh, does that surprise anybody, Morgan? Does that surprise you?
No, not at all.
All right, and then
It's just a matter of when.
yes, it's just a matter of when. Absolutely. I played Starfield. Morgan, have you played Starfield?
Oh yeah.
You played?
I haven't finished it. I put a couple, and I do mean a couple hours into it. Because that's all I really could give it, to be honest.
I know Nelson hasn't played it, so I'm just gonna ask you, see if you agree with me or not. But I played Starfield, right? I actually bought a Series X for Starfield.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think that Starfield is trash, like the ponies say, but I also don't think is game of the year or a very good game like the bots say. I think it's an average game. Now, mind you, I played this game when it came out. I didn't wait for all the updates, so I don't know what it looks like now. And I'm gonna be picking it up on PlayStation because I did enjoy it, and I always wanted to play with the DualSense because that's my favorite controller ever. But what do you agree with my sentiment or disagree, Morgan?
I completely agree. I don't think it's a terrible game, but I don't think it was the game of generation that Xbox wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I could not get past the intro. It was a snooze fest. I mean,
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I just.
That sounds like a bad game.
No, listen. I know when a game is bad versus when a game is just not for me. And it was just like, okay, this just isn't for me.
That's a very good point.
I can see there's potential in here, and I'm sure if I kept pushing, I would have found things that I liked about the game. But I was just, at that point when I was trying it, there was other games I wanted to play, so I was just like, this is not worth my time right now because this is just not hitting the way I would want it to hit. So
That's a very good point. Knowing the difference between a bad game and just a game that isn't for you, and that's an important that's an important thing to distinguish because I say it all the time. I can't stand Souls games, but you will never hear me say that they're just shitty games because they're not. They're very well made games, right? It's just not for me. I'm not a Souls player. I'm not a masochist like that. Just a little bit sometimes. But Nelson, does that surprise you that it's on the top of the PlayStation leaderboards right now in sales?
Not really. It all depends on what's coming out around it. If there's nothing, not many people are pre-ordering like Saros or something a month and a half out. They're just not.
Well, I mean, they both come out around the same time, and also
They're a few weeks apart, but
Starfield. Well, Saros is at the end of the month. Starfield is 2 weeks difference. But I'm actually a little. Oh, I'm not gonna say I'm a little surprised. I'm not surprised because it's Starfield. It's a big, open space game. That's not really open space, but that's what people think it is, right? And I'm really glad that they're giving us the complete edition on this one, which is what I want Crimson Desert to be, performance-wise, and not just performance, but the content-wise. They do have two editions, though. That did surprise me. One is the premium edition for $70. One is the regular for $50. The difference between the two is you get both DLCs with the premium. Morgan, do you think that's a good price?
yeah, I think that's fair. After the game, it's almost 3 years old at this point. So
Yeah.
get in the base game for 50 when it launched initially at 70, and then you get the $70 price and you get the complete edition. I think that's fair.
Yeah. RPG. Well, RPG. I don't think Starfield is a narrow audience. I think Soros is way more narrower than Starfield. But I think what Nelson is saying that people who are going to pre-order Soros already did. He doesn't think anybody's going to be pre-ordering it in the month it releases, which I think there will be, just not like that big heavy wave, or maybe there will be.
Maybe a day before, but
Maybe they're like, oh, I want to get that extra skin, you know, or whatever the pre-order. I don't pre-order digital games, so I don't know what comes in that motherfucker. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Not that it was. I found it interesting, but not
yeah, I think
that
it
I was
also helps.
surprised.
There's a short pre-order window because, but it's up for pre-order last week and it comes out in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, a couple of weeks, about a month from when it got announced. But the thing, it doesn't surprise me because Xbox games sell better on PlayStation than they do on Xbox. So if Starfield did really well on Xbox, which it didn't, then it's going to do even better on PlayStation. Does that make sense, or am I off base with that?
No. Do you not remember the 8 million player count, sir?
Oh yeah,
the players. Come on now.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. With and mind you, they paid the extra $12 to play the game a week early, but they don't own the game. They just got the they upgraded from the Game Pass model of the game.
Those awards show that they didn't make it very far into that damn game. They got bored of that shit.
Yeah, no, the beginning was definitely rough, but sci-fi. I love sci-fi, so when I saw that, I was in. Hell, I bought an Xbox Series X for $350 at Walmart for that damn game, with a free copy of Diablo. Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, it was $350 with a free copy of Diablo at Walmart back in 2023, I think it was. So. Yeah, no. Well, we have to pay over on PlayStation because we don't. What comes out to be about the same shit. The only thing you got was a week early, and then you got some deluxe, which was like the first DLC included for that price. And because Game Pass counted that upgrade as a deluxe purchase, even though you didn't pay all the money. But that also says that if you stop paying for Game Pass, you no longer have access to Starfield. You can play the DLC without the game. I didn't know that was possible. The only standalone DLC that I've seen in this generation is RoboCop, where they actually did a whole physical print and everything to go along with it. But we'll see. We'll see when the game comes out. This is another one from Xbox, which is not surprising, where you need internet in order to play it or install it if you do go physical. So keep that in mind. You cannot just insert the disc in and play it. You need internet in order to install it. So might be best to just buy it digitally, especially if you have numerous PlayStations in the house, so you don't have to share a physical disc that has nothing on it. But let's talk a little bit about PSSR 2, man. Yo, what up, C-Fresh? Let's talk about PSSR 2 real quick, because I think it was last week. No, it was this week. We got PSSR 2 update, PlayStation Portal update, Nintendo had a console update. Everybody got an update except for Xbox. Number one, Morgan, have you checked out any games on the PSSR 2? 2.0?
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling you how I was checking out. Oh, Lord. I just completely forgot the game that I was just checking out. Oh, my God. Hold on. I have to...
Yote?
Having a brain fart right here. No, Callisto Protocol. That's what
Callisto Protocol. Yeah.
Protocol. I was checking that out. Yeah, it looks... night and day difference on PS5 Pro with the PSSR 2. Like a completely different game. Like a 4K 60, like all of the lighting great, no technical issues like I was getting when I initially played it at launch. Like just a crisp gameplay experience, smooth performance, like the lighting and seeing the main characters, he's always sweating, right? Seeing the sweat beads go down his forehead, like everything just looks so good. Like it's fantastic. Like I'm really impressed with PSSR 2, and I'm low key, like right now I'm waiting for the Cyberpunk update, because when they tweeted out that they were getting the PSSR 2, I'm like, now I have a 15th reason to boot up Cyberpunk.
Wait, you never played it?
No. I'm saying the 15th time.
Oh, the 15th. Oh, I was like, oh my God, that's one of my favorite games ever.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I love Cyberpunk, and I'm going to play it all the way through again.
Me too.
With this PSSR 2.0 update.
Someday I'll give it another chance.
Bro, Cyberpunk is the only game of that size, actually the only game ever, that I finished and played back to back. Like I finish it
Yes.
and beat it
I
again, and
couldn't
then finish
finish
it
it.
and beat it again. Oh my god, I love that
It's
fucking
so
game so
good.
damn much.
So fucking good.
I checked out Dragon's Dogma, and I also checked out Final Fantasy Rebirth on the PSSR, and wow, what a difference, dude!
Yeah, I was
What
hearing
a
good things about that.
difference! Wow, like I did it day one, so I didn't like really experiment too much. But on the biggest difference I saw was on Final Fantasy. Wow, it was just it looked like how a PlayStation first party game normally looks, if that makes sense. It's like a quality to PlayStation first party games. That's what it felt like when I turned that sucker on. And same thing with Dragon's Dogma. I even took screenshots, which I honestly hardly ever do. But yeah, it was super surprising to me. What about you, Nelson? Did you check out any games on PSSR yet?
I don't know. No.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I recommend you check it out, bro. If there's any games that you like, go check it out and see what that difference looks like. Because, Morgan, what do you think is the biggest thing that you like from the PSSR 2? I think what I like the most is how it it's like you putting glasses on in a way where, like, you
I was
saw
literally just
pretty
about to say
well.
that.
Is that the same
The
thing you kind of
clarity,
got? Yeah, the clarity.
everything's less fuzzy. That Vaseline look that a lot of PSSR
Mm-hmm.
one games had. The clarity of it now just is like night and day. I'm like, this is how it was supposed to look. Like this
Yeah.
is what I was expecting from PSSR, and I'm glad to see that that Mark Cerny and the team behind the PlayStation hardware have been listening. They've been, watching, and they're like, okay, these are the things we need to update with it. And the fact that, not only did, a lot of publishers and developers announce that, hey, we're updating it with the new PSSR. We saw a bunch like the Remedy team came out, say, hey, Control Ultimate Edition has
Mm-hmm.
it, Alan Wake 2 has it, and then of course Resident Evil 9, that was the first game to use it, and we saw how great the game looked on that. Like a lot of developers, CD Projekt Red said we're going to be using it. But not only all of that, but the fact that there's a toggle in the system now to update all the games that are on PSSR 1, so that, hey, if you want to turn this on for, the games that have PSSR implemented, that they can go to this do the second version. I think that's awesome because I wasn't expecting that. Like whenever they updated I knew they would eventually update it because obviously it's a upscaler that is going to see updates all the time, right? But I was
Mm-hmm.
not expecting them to have like a system wide kind of update. I thought it was going to be a per developer at their own discretion kind of thing. The same way it was up to the developer's discretion about whether or not they would want to put a PS5 Pro update on their game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not expecting it to be a system wide toggle, and I think that's awesome. They did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's so impressive. Like I said, I was a huge critic of the PlayStation 5 Pro when it got announced, mainly because of pricing and mainly because they ask for $700 with no stand and no disk drive, and that rubbed me the wrong
Yeah.
way. And then the other thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was that they didn't even bundle it together, right? They didn't even say, hey, for our loyal fans, instead of paying 700 or what was it? It was $810 total if you bought everything individually.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a bundle for 750 at the time, right? So $50 more if you get a disc drive included in a stand, or even just like they didn't do shit. They just it felt like very nickel and diming to me at the time, especially when we didn't really have any games to show off a reason of why we should. All we kept hearing is, "Oh, you're gonna see your games perform better and look better and all that." And even
Yeah,
then,
Mark, with the presentation, he was just using, the PlayStation games already released, like The Last of
yeah,
Us 2 and
yeah,
Horizon Forbidden West, and showing the update. But I'm like, that's cool, but can you show us on like a new game, like how
yep,
it's going to be implemented, like from day one on new
yep,
games? That would be nice,
yep. Absolutely. Yeah, no, and I mean, what was the next game coming out? I think it was Death Stranding, maybe, or PS Pro came out, what, 2025? I think people were hoping to see Ghost, the sequel Ghost on it. I think that was the game. And then Yote got announced after that. But yeah, it just felt like why should I spend 700? Like you haven't given me a reason. And I didn't. To this day, I never spent 700. I was able to get it off a buddy for 600 because he kept the controller, and yeah, I was happy with that price. But PSSR 2.0, guys, go check it out, man. If there's a game, even if there isn't a game, but if specifically there's a game that you put to the side, like for me it was Dragon's Dogma, I put that game to the side because of performance, and then I also put away Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, also because I don't like the combat in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But now I'm willing to tolerate it because things work so well now. You see the difference, guys? If a game works really well, then I'm able to bypass the shit that I don't like because there's enough good in there. But with a game like Crimson Desert, and sorry to beat a dead horse, when you have all these things that compound with each other to just make things worse and nothing feels better, why? Why should I put up with it? You know what I mean? But now, even though I don't like the combat of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'm willing to play it because it looks really good, right? And it feels smooth. If it, it's what it should have been. But anything else on the PSSR 2 before we move on to the next one? I found the next one to be really funny.
No, I just can't wait to see more games implemented. You know?
Yes, absolutely.
I want every game that I'm excited about going forward to have PSSR 2.
Bro, I want that Cyberpunk so bad.
I want it so bad, man.
I bought Cyberpunk on PC when I got my PC a couple months ago, but I dislike PC so much that I started playing it and I stopped because I just want to play it on my PS5 Pro where I'm comfortable, and I haven't because of whatever reason, and now with the PSSR 2, now I'm definitely in there. But the next one is real funny. Guess Call of Duty is back up in the chart, guys. This past weekend, they had
Is it like 1999?
A 24-hour peak concurrent player count on Steam of 52,183 players for Call of Duty Modern Warfare that came out in 2019.
That's
7
not good.
years old. Quick little fun fact about that game. That was actually one of a couple games that got me to expand past my taste in gaming, right? Besides the ball and gun type of gamer that I kind of was, that game did it for me. Why? Because I tried something new, which was the co-op part of the game, the operations, and I have over 800 hours in that game. My schedule for that year was go to work, come home, play Call of Duty. Go to work, come home, play Call of Duty. So to see it back in the limelight, I'm so happy because if you guys know me, know that I like playing the Call of Duty campaigns, and Modern Warfare 2019 had an awesome campaign. But Morgan, does this surprise you that a 7-year-old Call of Duty game is leading player count over the new shit?
No, because the new shit is fucking terrible.
Trash.
2019 is probably the last one that I really liked, to be honest.
Yeah.
Since then, I really haven't cared about Call of Duty. You know, I did buy Call of Duty in 2020 when with the PS5 launched, because obviously, it's new generation. I wanted to see how COD played on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, out of curiosity, I'm like, okay, let me try out COD. But other than that, I really have not cared about Call of Duty for years. So it did not surprise me that a 2019 COD is, popular on Steam. Like people want, they want what they had with COD originally. They miss what made COD great. Hopefully we'll get that with this new one, since we're going back to Black Ops or
not gonna happen. Not with Xbox in charge.
Well, look, that game was already being made by the time Xbox bought them, so it was nothing Xbox did. It's just they lost their way. Activision lost their way with Call of Duty, and Xbox just did nothing about it because it's Xbox.
Hit the accelerator. They accelerated it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame Xbox for Call of Duty problems. Call of Duty already had their fucking problems. Morgan, I'm sorry. Before Nelson rudely cut you off, what were you saying?
No, you're good. No, I was just saying, yeah, it makes perfect sense to me that people want what made COD great, right? People, before they decided to bombard it with like Nicki Minaj and Beavis Butthead skins everywhere, like, I'm like, what is this? Like they tried again to do what a lot of what I see people or publishers rather doing is chase this Fortnite trend,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, what they, what makes Fortnite popular? Oh, they have all these IPs that they have, included into Fortnite. Oh, you can play as a Star Wars character, or you can play as the K-pop Demon Hunters, or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Any IP you can imagine, it's probably been on Fortnite. But the thing is, that's what was built for Fortnite, right? That they didn't just that is the culture that they cultivated at Fortnite, right? That is what
Yep.
the players have built, and what the development team has strived for with this game. Call of Duty was not built on that. Call of Duty was not built on all of this extra crap that they're adding, where they're kind of seemingly looking to focus more and more on their free to play aspect of the game. So it's just like, I don't really know if COD's gonna ever come back to its glory. Like, obviously, COD's still a beast when it comes to sales and stuff. Like, even though it did fall on the sales, this past year, it's still gonna be a huge seller. Like, it's never gonna be like, I don't think it's ever gonna get to the point where nobody's buying COD and it just kind of falls to the wayside. But will it get back to the point where it was that number one seller every year? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really seem like Activision is really pushing for that
No.
anymore, right?
No.
They continuously, like, the continued cycle, the yearly cycle just isn't working. And I know they said they're going to kind of change that, but are they? I don't know. Like,
All they meant by
But
that
they're
is
not gonna, because they're not gonna let go of that yearly money.
all they meant by that is that instead of doing Black Ops 1, 2, 3, they're gonna be doing Black
they're-
Ops and
they're
then
gonna be
Modern
doing-
Warfare and
yeah,
then switch
yep.
off.
They're just gonna, that's all I meant.
So you're not gonna get a whole
that makes
trilogy
sense.
of series like you got Modern Warfare 2, and then Modern Warfare 3. That's not gonna happen anymore. But look, I hope Call of Duty dies. I really do. Like, I'm just over them. Mainly because they keep disrespecting my single player campaign, man. Like, that's what I
Dude.
like. That's what I want.
that
I
last
don't
one,
care.
oh my god.
Oh, dude, for Black Ops, that's the first game. No, I'm lying, but that is the last game I did that with was Nelson. What was the game that you guys all like? That PlayStation first party game, or not first party, but exclusive. Came out last year. Pretty shitty. It's got the
Pretty
dude.
shitty.
Yeah, pretty shitty.
Lost Soul Aside?
Lost Soul Aside. Yes.
Love that game.
Call of Duty was the second game in a year or third game, Baby Steps was another one, that immediately after playing for a few minutes, I turned off and deleted. And Lost Soul Aside was another one that I took back to GameStop, which, once again, guys, I have over 600 games in my video game collection. I just don't go trading in my games. I keep them. And Lost Soul Aside had to go. But Black Ops 6, mind you, Black Ops 5, the campaign. No, I'm sorry. Black Ops 7 is the new one. Black Ops 6, the campaign, I actually really, really liked. So much so that I bought it when it came on sale for $20 on the Xbox. And I'm actually thinking about replaying it again. But Black Ops 7 was the first Call of Duty in such a long time that I played and I turned off like after 20, 30 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? You couldn't even pause a single player campaign, dude. Couldn't even pause it. It's fucking machetes flying out the sky. It's like I get it, man. They smell some toxic, right? But fuck, they're applying what they use for their live service shit and the first party shit. So all the Nicki Minaj big booty, Beavis and Butthead skins, all that shit, all that ridiculousness, they're applying to the first player campaign. And to me, that's just unacceptable. So anything that Call of Duty can do to get you to come back, Morgan.
I'm with you because I always cared about the campaign. Like, I know that's not like, I guess especially now, that's not
It's
a
looked
big
down
thing
upon
with COD. But like literally, me and my sister, when we bought COD, it was like we cared about the campaign. We wanted to play the campaign. Obviously, we played the multiplayer too. But
your sister's a gamer as well?
Yeah, she's more casual than I am though. But she was a big COD. She hasn't bought COD in like 2 years, and she would literally buy it every year. She would play it. She would pay $70 mostly just for that campaign to play that 5-6 hour campaign.
Me too.
So the fact that she stopped doing it is like a big sign how far COD has fallen.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like they keep putting the single player portion on the back burner, and you could tell by that last campaign. I remember like watching videos about it, and that shit was laughable. I was just like, what, like, dude, if you're not even gonna try, you might as well just cut that out. Like, what was the point of that? It was honestly just laughable how like you could just tell that there was like no kind of
They just phoned that shit
put into that story. Yeah, it is. Like, they just kind of like just threw things at the storyboard and was like, yeah, that'll work. We'll just do that. Like, if they actually came back with like a good gritty war story, which is what we want, then yeah, I come back to COD.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
they put a bigger focus on, you know, making the online feel like COD again, you know, and not you know, an imitation of every other live service game with like a COD skin on top of it. Yeah, I'd come back. I'd happily come back, because I did enjoy, you know, just sometimes just chilling, playing like team deathmatch or, you know, or whatever, just laid back and, you know, not thinking, like, you know, I'm just chilling in a party chat talking with my friends while we were playing, you know. It's just, I miss doing that sometimes, you know. Even though I am mostly a single player gamer, I did enjoy playing COD and just relaxing, but I just can't do that.
God damn it!
I can't.
It's one of those games you don't really have to think. It's all reaction based. It's all just gameplay.
Exactly.
But you know, the thing too about Call of Duty is that, like, even today or yesterday, we were celebrating my son's birthday, and I took him to the video game store, my mom and pop shop, and I'm like, get whatever you want. And we were sitting there, and man, they were sold out. They didn't really have shit in that motherfucker. So we ended up getting a loose copy of Call of Duty for the Nintendo DS. It was $7, but that's one of two games that he picked. And I'm like, I thought you didn't like Call of Duty. He's like, yeah, I don't, but they don't really have anything. I don't want to leave here with nothing, and it's Call of Duty, right? So, like, it's like, it's comfort food. You know what I mean? For so many people, it's comfort food. So you have to have really fucked up bad where people don't even want comfort food anymore. Right? When they don't want that greasy fucking cheeseburger that tastes so good, even if it makes you feel like shit tomorrow, people don't even want that. So I think their old owner, I forget his name is, was it Bob or some shit like that?
Kotick.
Bobby Kotick. I think Bobby Kotick was right. I think he did.
He knew the goddamn. It was going down. Like, you know.
Yep.
The ship was going down. I'm gonna sell it before it got motherfucker hit the ground.
Yep. And he sold it for top dollar, and he did what he had to do.
Microsoft's problem now.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, man, it's just unfortunate because, well,
he saw the East was coming and he wanted to get off the ride.
I don't want to sit here and prey upon the downfall of a video game, but at the same time, when you keep taking advantage of gamers, something's got to fucking give. And that's the same way I feel about Crimson Desert. They took advantage of the gamers. They bullshitted us. They fucking lied. You know what I mean? I commented in one of their posts and I said, you guys are thieves. That's what you guys are. You guys are fucking thieves. And I still stand by that because it's unacceptable the way that they fucking put that game out there, knowing that it had the issues that it had. But either way, I don't want to keep going back to Crimson Desert. Obviously, I have some sort of emotional fucking reaction to that fucking game. Not that I wish for it to fail or anything, because I'm definitely excited to play it once they fix it. But the last couple things I want to talk about is a real quick one here. It is from Take-Two CEO, who owns Rockstar. He said, everybody over the age of 17 will be playing Grand Theft Auto 6. I disagree with him. I think that it's everybody, not just anybody over 17. But I understand why he said that, because it's not legal to, sell that game to minors. So
every 8-year-old's gonna fucking.
Absolutely.
They can't get it from mom. They're going to be going to grandma. They're going to be going to fucking...
That's what I did.
Yes.
Uncle Ben.
Hell, I hope we get back to the days of a kid waiting for me to walk out the gas station and say, hey, mister, can you buy me a pack of cigarettes?
Yeah, right?
You know what? Yes, I will, young man. Follow me.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hey, I'll give you 100. You go in there and pick me up that Grand Theft Auto. Like,
yes.
I got it for you, kid. Yeah, keep the change. I
Keep
will.
the change,
Bye.
exactly. Like I like this. You know, we want to. I hope that game does that for the kids today's world because I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna help them. But what do you think about that, Morgan? Do you think that Call of Duty will be played by everybody over quote unquote 17?
But GTA?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I remember, I can't remember who said that, but it was some news outlet that said that, um, that the economy is adjusting for when GTA 6 launches because there's going to be
Hmm.
a massive amount of people taking time off, and it's going to
Oh yeah.
inevitably affect the economy for the
Yeah.
day that that happens
Yeah.
because it's going to disrupt everything nationwide. And I was like, yo, that is insane, but it's so
Yeah.
true because I don't care what happens, what I got to do, whose leg I got to cut off if it's mine, you know, whose funeral I got to say I'm going to, but I'm getting off on
Hmm.
GTA 6 and
Yep.
I'm taking that like at least a week. Don't talk to me, don't do nothing, don't hit me up, don't say hi, don't check on me. I'm
None of
fine.
that.
If I haven't said anything to you, it's because I am just neck deep in Call of
Yep.
Duty. I'm probably getting a stripper's, you know, ass in my face right now while I'm
Yep.
throwing ones in the strip club right now. So just let me
Facts.
be. Let me be.
I'm
Okay? Cuz I'm
right
going to
where I
be
want to be.
enjoying GTA 6, man. I'm telling you, day fucking 1. I cannot, that is like, it's just a culmination of, you know, it's been
Hmm.
what, almost 20 years for this game, right? I
Yeah.
think over 20 years actually. So it's just like I'm a completely different person from when GTA 5 came out,
Yep.
right? Like I was still living at home, all that shit. So I'm
Yep.
just like, I I I need this game. This game needs to be injected into my veins, okay? And I will do whatever it takes to play this game because it's gonna be day 1 for me. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Uh,
Yeah, I was similar to, well, not similar to you, but I at first I wasn't like the closer we're getting, the more excited I'm getting because I really wasn't gonna like I was gonna pick it up, but it's like okay, whatever, right? But the closer we're getting, the more I'm excited for it because just like what excited me about Crimson Desert excites me about Call of Duty. It's like how many games do we get that are like open world like that with so many things that are interactive at the quality that we're known to getting GTA, what we normally expect from GTA. And the other thing too that I think the new generation kind of has forgotten, maybe some millennial thing, right? Because we're older, we've been around for a long time. But do you guys remember when Grand Theft Auto will come out and we all would talk about, man, I wonder what's the next thing they're gonna do to push gaming forward, right? It's always been like, what are they gonna do new
yeah.
that we've never seen before? And
Mhm.
I'm wondering, is this gonna be a game that is gonna show us something we've never seen before? Or is it gonna be a situation where it's like, all right, gaming's been around for 40, 50 years now. We've seen it all, we've done it all. All we got left is just new stories and maybe new gameplay mechanics. What do you think, Morgan? Do you think that there's still a chance that Call of Duty can push gaming forward like it's done historically? Or do you think that, nope, all that new shit is done because we've made so many games. Now what we have to look forward to is just great quality from them. What do you think?
No, no, they're absolutely going to be pushing, you know, open world gaming and gaming in general is going to be forward. They always do something innovative. Even I remember, you know, them pushing the envelope with GTA 5, and then you know we get the announcement for Red Dead 2, and people were like, "Well, how exactly are they going to do it with this one? There's no way, right?" And then we got Red Dead 2, and then like the amount of interaction with NPCs and the way the world will just continue to go on without you, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
remember going to Valentine, watching them, you know, build one of the like the houses in the city of, you know, the town of Valentine or
Oh
whatever, and then
yeah.
coming back like 30 hours later through the game, and like the house was like 80% done, and then coming towards the end, and then the house was all the way done, and I'm like,
Yep.
it just continually progressed, and the way that the NPCs had their own lives going on, like I would literally legit take time to just follow an NPC throughout the day and just watch them, and they would have jobs. They would like legit be doing jobs
Yep.
throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, they would walk back to their home, get into their house, get in their bed, and go to sleep until the morning came up. And I was just like, this is like the coolest thing. It's the smallest detail, but it's the coolest thing ever. Just watching, and every single NPC had their own thing going on, right? They had
Yep.
their own lives, regardless of whatever you were doing in the game. Each NPC had their own thing going on, and absolutely was just mind blown with that that just level of just technical expertise, right? And then everybody laughing about the aspect of like the horse's balls, the
Oh,
way that
yep. Yep.
the way they were shrinking the coal to the people were like, that's so unnecessary. But is it unnecessary? Because
No,
I think
it's
that's
not.
amazing. That is
Yep.
so cool that somebody decided to add that tech
That
into the
little,
game.
yeah, that little
That little
detail.
bit exactly. And so I'm like, if you think that Rockstar is like not going to push the envelope, they know what the gamers are expecting from them and know what the fans are expecting from them. They understand that, what the Rockstar name means and what people want from that team. And just from hearing from the rumors about the things that they're going to be adding into this game, like the level of AI, like as far as like the NPCs and level of like immersion that we're going to be getting in this game, I fully expect to be just blown away by whatever innovations that they add into this world to make it just feel even more realistic than just visuals. Like, and that's the thing about Rockstar. It's even though we get that A-list visuals, it's even more about the immersion and the fact that they are continuously pushing the bar. Right, we still have people every time a new open world game comes out. We continuously have these videos of people comparing Red Dead 2 to whatever that game is, right? Because I saw the Red Dead 2 comparisons to Crimson Desert, right? Like, Red Dead 2, you can have the movement in the sheets and the clothing. Why doesn't it have that in Crimson? People have been doing that for years, and I guarantee as soon as GTA 6 releases, that's gonna be the new bar, right? People are gonna be like comparing every open world game after GTA 6. They're gonna be comparing it to GTA 6, and of course everybody's gonna fall flat, but that's not other developers' fault. It's just like, well, when you have an unlimited budget and basically unlimited time and unlimited resources, you can do these types of things. But most publishers don't.
Yeah, it could be the worst game ever, but we're guaranteed 25 million sales day one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like most publishers aren't giving their development teams the type of grace that
Rockstar gets. Rockstar. Yeah.
So it's like it's unfair to compare other teams to Rockstar.
Well, actually, Morgan, let me ask you something before I forget this real quick, because this just came to my mind, and I can't believe I never thought about this before. So, number one, to confirm what you were saying, a couple months ago, me and Nelson, or I was telling Nelson how just during that time period, I think it was a month ago or 2 months ago, somebody found something new in Red Dead. Like, it was these spider legs that were so even after all these years, and mind you, there's people who do nothing but play Red Dead like every day for years, right? Yeah. And hell, we know somebody, shout out to Tornado, he's got over 5,000 hours on GTA 5 just on the PlayStation alone. He's got
almost 50,000.
Not including PS4, PS3. So, just as an example. But the thing that I was going to say is,
all in total, he's close to 40,000 hours.
Because we've been seeing all these arguments between people who say, yeah, it won't be at 60 frames, we're going to have performance, the game is just too big, all this shit, right? But then I'm thinking, while you were talking about, pushing something new and all that, and I'm like, when did Rockstar ever push gaming forward while having performance problems? So why would they start now? What do you think about that, Morgan?
That's all facts. I remember I bought Red Dead 2. I got it. I pre-ordered it, the physical edition from GameStop. They had a whole launch of it because it's Rockstar. It's a huge game, right? So I was there at 11 o'clock. They did the whole thing where they did like a kind of like a party, and you do question answer. You win prizes, crap like that, right? So I ended up walking out with it at 11:30. So I had a copy early, right? I popped that thing in. This was before you needed like internet to run your game. So I basically had, an early copy. I was playing it by like 11:40, and I had my friends on PSN who saw that I had Red Dead 2 hit me up like, how the hell did you get the copy early? And I was just like, physical, man, physical. But I remember playing it, and I don't remember experiencing any bugs, any glitches. Like, maybe there was like a couple of little hiccups here and there, but for most of my playthrough, day one, I don't remember sitting around waiting for a patch to fix some big prevalent problem with Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
it was smooth. It was beautiful. Like, it was like, obviously I was on PS4 Slim. I didn't have the Pro, so I was rocking 4K 30. Like, I just remember it was breathtaking. I was like, I did not know that the PS4 could look this fucking good. Like, this is insane. Like, you know, I'm sitting riding on my horse looking at the, you know, the vista and the storms brewing in over the mountains and everything. Like, everything was visually there. I don't recall having high, like, pop-in or any kind of, like, aliasing issues. Like, everything just looked fantastic and ran fantastic day one. So I don't expect, like, that. I don't expect any different from GTA 6, you know, unless of course like Rockstar is like pushing them to hurry up and release this or something like that. But you know, Rockstar can, I mean, and Take-Two, they give Rockstar the time they need because they understand how big the stakes are with this game.
I mean, absolutely. They
the
just
reputation of Rockstar is too high for them to be, you know, to be rushing it and not have anything less than perfection when it comes to GTA 6.
The CEO literally just said that everybody over the age of 17 will be playing this game. Like, he knows how big this motherfucker is. And that is why they gave him that time. And they will give him that time because they know this is going to be one of the most important games in history. And this is no exaggeration.
You don't think their stocks are linked to how well this launch
absolutely
for GTA 6? Like, if this, like, for whatever reason,
if it came out bad and it did bomb, they go out of business.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the biggest drops you've ever seen. So like they are fully aware how this has to be. It can't be anything less than perfection with Rockstar. Right? It can't be anything less with GTA 6 because the stakes are way too high. There's way too much money invested. You know, they saying this game is like the first game that cost $1 billion. I'm not, you know, I don't know if that's true, but I could definitely see it could be true.
I believe it. Yeah,
right.
Easily.
You know, there's way too much into it. They've invested into GTA 6. They know it's going to be the biggest game ever at this point. So they can't fuck this up. They can't.
Yeah. And that's another reason that lead me believe that the game is going to perform well. Like, it's going to hit that 60. It's going to hit all the little balance, performance, quality modes. It's going to hit all that.
Yeah, PSSR 2.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm excited. The closer it gets, the more excited I am for it, which I wasn't originally just because it was so far away. It was like 2 years away. And it's like, well, why get excited for something like that when there's over who knows how many thousands of games come out every year. But yeah, the last thing I want to bring up, guys, is just for my own curiosity, is going to be the, what do they call it? The adaptive pricing on the PlayStation Store. I think we talked about that a little bit last time, but now that we have Morgan here, I really would like to get her opinion. Basically, what's happening is PlayStation is changing pricing in the PS Store based on, I don't know what the fuck they're basing it on, but it changes. So if you see a price, it may not show the same price for me. And I'm trying to figure out the official name for that fucking thing. It's something. Basically, the pricing fluctuates between customer. It's not just one pricing across the board. And people started to notice this in the last couple months. Not in America or none of the big countries quite yet, but we have seen it in a couple others. Dynamic pricing. Thank you, NA. Fuck, man. My vocabulary has been all jacked up the last couple weeks. Dynamic pricing. But, Morgan, why? So I see the benefit. Right? Because, hey, like anything, if I can get $5 for Morgan, but I can only get $3 for Morgan, why not get $5 for Morgan, right? I understand that. But is PlayStation hurting themselves for the long run by doing this?
Yeah, I really don't know what they're actually trying to test with this. Like, because it's like, yeah, like some people get the price cut and then some don't, and they're basing it, I guess, on play style or buying patterns, I guess. I guess if you buy more RPGs, then you'll have like an RPG, more RPGs will be on sale for you, or maybe that's what I really have no idea.
Or maybe they're charging you more because you do buy more RPGs, so like, oh, we can get more money.
I don't know exactly how they're doing the dynamic pricing. Like, how do they determine who gets what, you know? Like, I understand that this is something that a lot of businesses do, like stores, grocery stores and shit do this too all the time. But I don't know. I just feel like, a sale's a sale. Just put the sale, you know, store wide. There's no need
Yeah.
for the dynamic pricing and trying to match people and just like. But again, I think this leads to the bigger issue when it comes to PlayStation is that as far as their digital storefronts go,
Yep.
the fact that we can only shop from PlayStation's digital storefront, right? Like
Yep.
they don't, we're not allowed to shop at third-party digital stores.
No.
This dynamic pricing kind of just puts a bigger spotlight on
Yep.
that problem. That the fact that they have a monopoly on the
Yep.
digital storefront, if you're playing on PlayStation, and that's why they're getting sued for that. Honestly,
Yep.
I this is the one lawsuit I hope PlayStation loses because
So do
they
I.
need to open it. They need to open it up because it's not fair that we're having to, if you want to play digitally, because there are some benefits to digital as far as just, you don't have to wait and you can play your games via the cloud if you want to, especially if you own like a PlayStation Portal. There's a lot of benefits to buying digitally, and the fact that they're kind of holding that hostage, and
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do that, you can only do it with us. That
Yep.
especially when their competitors are not doing the same thing. Xbox and Nintendo, you can buy from other storefronts, and then
Yep.
obviously with PC, you can do the same too. So
I just would like to gift my friend a game without having to
Thank
share
you.
my code
Thank
or credit card
Thank
information.
you.
Like, bro, let me just, you know what?
I've
Let
been
me
saying
buy
that for the
Morgan a game,
longest.
and bam, click, bam, done. And I've done that on Xbox
Yes,
easily,
that's free
bro.
money for them. That's
Free,
free money for them.
yes.
So I don't understand why they wouldn't want that, because I've been saying that all the time. Like if I want to, because like I've been wanting to, like, buy my brother or sister a game. I'm like, why can't I just give them the game, send it to them to their PlayStation 5, so that I don't have to like either buy it physically on Amazon for them to wait for it or buy them a gift card. Like it's just a hassle. Let me just send them the game. I don't understand why PlayStation doesn't let you do that.
Honestly, they would probably get double the money from me because I would buy
That's
one
what
for
I'm
myself and
saying.
one for my friend. But Nate, are you back with us?
Yeah, I am back.
I knew I saw something. What do you think about this whole dynamic pricing, Nate?
Yeah, so I've been having conversations about this in a group chat for a couple weeks now. That varies, with PlayStation gamers, Xbox, Steam, whatever, right? So something that's important to understand about how this works is what it's trying to actually achieve is the extra discount, not necessarily. People's fear is the height, right? The price hike. That's not the problem. What they're trying to figure out is how can I get you to stop hesitating on that game. That game's been in your wish list for five weeks. It's been $19.99 17 times, but you won't get it. But when will you get it? So do I got to throw that extra $5 in there and make it $14.99? That's what they're looking for. So that's why it seems weird, because the fear is everybody's thinking, Morgan's gonna get on her PlayStation and I'm gonna get on my PlayStation, and we both want Octopath Traveler 1, and her Octopath Traveler 1, she's gonna get a discount, and I'm not, right? I'm not. There's always going to be a general discount, right? But of course they have to be careful with it, right? Because this isn't the only place, right? So I had a prime example. A friend of mine, it's a different region, and region pricing is a thing, right? But I can still do the conversion for USD. So a friend of mine lives in the Middle East, and we were talking about something, and this is why I said this fear that people have about the increase doesn't work, right? And I'm gonna explain. There's a whole rhyme or reason to this. Before the price goes up, down, left, right, or center, you have an idea about the price that you're willing to pull the trigger on that game, right? So if they dynamically price that to you, it's cheaper for somebody else, right? You're not going to pull the trigger. If I say, like, perfect example, I wanted a game that didn't go on sale for like 6 months, and it was no longer produced physically, and it took forever, and Morgan knows because I complained about it all the time. And eventually it went on sale, and it was finally like $6 or something, right? It was like super cheap. Again, this is a combination of couple things, right? Though, So a couple things, like you guys were saying earlier, where Morgan brought it up, and this is the part where Sony's getting in trouble, right? So they're getting in trouble because, like you guys were saying, they're the only place you can get their digital games. Like, if digital games are going to be the future, that can't be the case. So they're going to have to alter that, whether it's with this upcoming rebranding or whatever they're doing. Cool. But again, like I said, if you've determined personally, like we were talking about Super Robot Wars, right? If you were interested in that game and you were like, "Hey, Nate, I like that game, but I'm not willing to pay more than $24.99 for it." It doesn't matter how many times PlayStation puts it on sale or they dynamically adjust it. If it's not $24.99 or lower, you're not pulling the trigger. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the fear that they're going to market to you or alter your stuff in a certain way is not going to really happen, because, like, people are forgetting we have too many tools, right, to assert whether or not something is on sale. People I know that aren't even, like you said, we all know people in our life that play games that aren't as online as we are or as dialed in as we are, but most consumers have general price comparisons built in. They're going to see, hey, that game's on sale. They're gonna follow Wario 64. They're gonna, and if it's not him, they're gonna follow something. They're gonna go to something like Camel, right? Which tells you the history of that product and as it fluctuated. So that you're not like, dang, that looks like a really good price, but then you go to Camel, and you're like, oh, it was $50 cheaper 3 weeks ago, and I missed it. That's what that's for. So there's a million tools to double check, where something is, but you are always the ultimate source of when you're going to pull the trigger. There's no form of dynamic pricing, that's going to change that. What they're looking for is the trigger point, though. So they're looking specifically, I've had stuff on my wish list like that, right? Where I'm like, I'll go through, see what's on sale, and I'm like, nah, I like $11.99 for that one. I'm saying, like, whatever arbitrary thing I just did in my head for that game, I'm like $11.99. That's where I'm at. And they want to know where that is. It's just it's more marketing research than malicious intent. But it's PlayStation, and that's where people are running with it. Like I said, it can be dangerous, but it really can't be. The only way it could be as dangerous as people are thinking is if you had no other way to know the price of things. But we have 10,000 things at our disposal, our phone in our hand, our friends we could text. We have too many ways to double check the price of something to make sure you're getting the price that you want, or whatever you've determined that price is for you to pull the trigger on that title or that DLC.
Well, let me get in here real quick on that, because I hope that's the case, right? It's just number one, we don't trust corporations, right? We don't trust them to do the right things and to not do the right thing. The other thing too is we're lazy, man. You know what I mean? We're lazy, even though, like, man, me and my sister have an agreement worked out where, look, I take care of dad here at the house, all the physical shit, you take care of that, all the administrative shit, phone calls, appointments, all that. And even then, it's a pain in the ass for her to pick up the phone and Google something, because we got to do a little bit of research, right? So I understand that we have all those resources. I just don't know if people even use them as is. I mean, fuck, look at Nelson. Whenever like a special edition or something comes out that he's really interested in, and I'm like, oh, I just follow Warrior 64. He's like, well, I'm sleeping and I don't have the time, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
I just hope
so that's what I'm saying, though, right? So even if you were super lazy, right, at the very worst, you still know you're not buying apples for $4 a pound.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, no matter what the sale is, even if your sale was different than my sale on apples, you're like, when apples are $1.50 a pound, I'm down. So that's what I'm saying. So you, even before all the tools, I only buy
bananas when they're on sale.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, yo, I'm not buying them organic bananas for $2.50. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to get these regular bananas right here.
Give me that 99 cents a pound shit.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have your determination. That's their ultimate thing that stops them from kind of exploiting you. Am I telling you they can't get somebody out here? Absolutely.
yeah.
I
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
know some people out here that got way more money than they got sense, or
Yeah.
or they got so much money that they don't care. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They're like, no, I want what I want. I don't care if it's 80. I don't care if it's 90.
Facts.
I don't care what it is. I want this, and I want all the works. But people do that in general, right? We got
Yeah.
dudes out here with $10,000 rims.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You
On a
don't have to
$5,000
get
car.
those. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people have a determination when they want what they want, and your money matches. When your money matches what you want, you just gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought something earlier. I didn't have to buy it. You know what I'm saying? But I had it. I made some extra money, and I reasoned with myself, hey, you could do it if you want to, and so I did it.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's really what that is. That's why I say, yes, be cautious, like, and stuff like that. But yeah, I think what you and Morgan were having the conversation about is PlayStation's bigger problem, because their European regulation does not play.
Yep.
And I don't want them the thing is, I don't want them to get sued. I don't care about the money. I don't need a fine. I need results.
Yes.
Forget the fine. I don't want you wasting $900 million paying some arbitrary counsel who don't need no bread. No, don't do that. Give me the result. I want, PlayStation titles, digital sales on the store being able to be purchased on Green Man Gaming, being able to be purchased on these other stores that could combat, different sales price points that, they could give me when maybe that game isn't on sale.
Yep. Compete.
And yeah, compete. And then also where the pricing does need to fluctuate, right, is those older titles. This is another problem with digital media versus physical, right, which is a big thing for you, right?
Yep.
That title I was complaining about, if you could have found it physically, I could have got it for $8 that day or whatever, because it was like 5 years old.
Yep.
The game, it has a permanent price cut physically, but it did not have a permanent price cut. It did not have a permanent price cut digitally. So whenever it wasn't on sale, it went up to, $100, $60 for no reason. Even though that's not the price of the game. And if somebody came across it, that's what I'm saying. So like, dynamic pricing wasn't even the problem anymore. The problem was if somebody encountered that game and didn't know that it was old, and they were like, well, $60 isn't bad for a new game. They have no idea when it came out. This, that, and the third. They can still get got. You don't need dynamic pricing for that.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? But if they gotta look and be like, oh, that game is 5 years old and GameStop got it for $12.
Yeah, it
So
happens all the
that's
time.
what I'm saying.
And it happens
all the
vice
time.
versa too, man. And I think that's one of Nintendo's weakest points is these physical Nintendo games will sell for top dollar. I mean, me and my son were looking at a fucking Game Boy Advance Pokemon game. I forgot which one it was, and it was $80, right? Where we could easily wish we could get on a digital store and it will be about a $20 game. So it goes both ways. It's not just one way or the other. But physical,
Exactly.
you have a little bit more control because it's physical. You can go to location A, B, or C and try to get the best deal possible. Where PlayStation is just one location, one spot. That is it, and that's what needs to change. And I think Nate is right about all that. Like, fuck the dynamic pricing. What we really need is for these motherfuckers to allow us to give us the option to buy the game wherever the fuck we want, and not even including shit like PS Stars, man. They used to give us a little some, right? But you know who does give me a little some? Best Buy. Best Buy gives me 5% cashback reward on everything I fucking spend. GameStop gives me reward points for everything I fucking spent. PlayStation doesn't. And they did for a hot second, but then what happened to it? Why did they cancel it? There's a million things that we can talk about in regards to that shit. These are all little things that can benefit the gamers, increase loyalty. So when we see something like dynamic pricing, it's just natural for us to think of it in a negative type of way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And that's why I said, like, after we had a chance to talk about it and have that conversation in a group, like I said, in that group chat that I did, like, we all ran the gamut across everything. And one of the other bigger things to consider is that Steam and like I said, Microsoft also have dynamic pricing. So like, and have had it for years. So you see the difference when people don't know it's in play versus when they do, or they hear about it coming up. That, like you said, people assume malicious intent. And like I said, never trust any of these corporations. It's not about PlayStation specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, we already been on their head, like about the gifting, about needing to adjust permanent pricing for older titles. Like, there's a ton of other stuff to worry about before we even get to this. So yeah, that's why I said, like, ultimately, you're your own barometer for what you're gonna purchase something for. And I feel like that's more so what this is. It's just more marketing research to see, like, hey, Will really wants this game. It's been on his list for 15 months, but something about, no matter what we do, he won't get it. And it's because they don't know what your thinking is. But your thinking is, I want it for $11.99, but the cheapest it's been is $14.99. And you're like, you know what? For whatever reason, I'm not budging.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
And then they give you that dynamic discount, and it's like, boom, you're like, hey, I'll take it.
And that happens all the time, man. I mean, there's games on my wish list that have been there for years, and it's not because I want the price to go lower. It's just because they're not out yet, right? But there's also a lot of games where, I'm waiting for that 20, especially me being a physical gamer, where I won't buy a game. Like, for example, I've been waiting for Forza to hit $30 before I push the trigger on that game, because I just can't justify spending more than that on a digital game. I'll spend more than that physically, but they don't have a physical PS5 copy, so I guess I gotta wait for the digital, and my price is $30, because I'm not a huge racing fan, and also, I'm not gonna be playing that thing all the time. It's just I want to experience some of it at my own pace, but that's my price. And I know Nelson does it. I mean, fuck, everybody does it. I don't know not one person who doesn't do that, who just throws shit in their wish list waiting for the price to go down or get to the level that they would like it to be. But Morgan,
I always tell people it's the same thing with Morgan. Me and Morgan will split some games that
we
want,
we play share,
and we'll just share them.
Yeah,
and we're like, you know what, splitting it, I don't feel half bad about us taking a shot on this game.
Yeah,
most of the time we're right because we know what we want, but the point is, sometimes you're just like, I just don't want to spend that whole bread, But we have a thing in common as far as both of us, where we want the whole thing. Like me, I don't like missing parts of games. I don't care how cosmetic it is. I want the deluxe Holy Crap Edition Volume 6. Like, I'm not playing. That's why I don't buy Street Fighter Day 1 no more, because I don't like missing content. And I'm not about to be nickel and dime for every fighter that come out. I'm going to wait for the super duper, Hyper EX Plus Alpha Turbo Volume 3 Edition. Then I'm going to get it.
Yeah, some of these games got content for fucking days, man.
Absolutely.
So are you going to pick up, going back a little bit, are you going to pick up Starfield on the PS5? Or, oh no, you said you already got it on PC with the mods and all that and your adjustments that you don't care. Yeah,
I got the premium already, so I'm already getting the DLC. I already technically own it. So I'll probably take another shot at it when it comes out with all the updates. But yeah, I'm not at some point when it's cheaper, maybe then like we just talked about, right?
Yep.
When it's cheaper, because it's coming with everything, it's $50, but that ain't cheap enough for me because I already spent $200.
Yep.
So when it's $19.99 or something in the future, I might be like, you know what, I enjoyed it enough.
PS Plus,
well, or that, right? Yeah, I might, but that happens, right? We talk about that all the time. Yo, I was just about to buy that, and then it hits. Right? Yeah. And there's no version of it on PlayStation that doesn't come with all the content, because the version that's releasing only comes with all the content. So I get the version I want no matter which one I get later, whether it's on sale or whether it hits PS Plus. And there you go.
That's a fact. Yeah, guys. And outside of, what PlayStation's trying to do or what Xbox or anybody's trying to do, just do what's best for you, man. Only you know what you can afford and what you can't afford and your interest level and all that. But don't let these companies nickel and dime you. Don't let them take advantage of you. I think that was also part of my complaint with Crimson Desert, once again beating a dead horse, is that after all the bullshit they told us or not told us, after all the attacks on us, like, you guys are asking for too much, they ended up being wrong the whole time. And why should we support shit like that? We're at a day and age where we can get a lot more information. Imagine if this was like 97. Like, your only source of info is your neighbor and what Nintendo Power is telling you every fucking month. Or when was Nintendo Power? Every 3 months or some shit like that? I forget. But that's it. You didn't have the internet. You didn't have fucking, none of the YouTubers, and you really had to make a very informed decision with limited fucking information. Nowadays, all you gotta follow is Will Power's fucking Twitter and be like, oh, this dude's a piece of shit. I ain't buying that fucking game. Just as an example, guys. I'm not telling you not to or to do, but anything else you guys would like to discuss while we're here? Oh,
Nope, but I just sold a copy of this game.
what game?
Rushing Beat X.
You sold it?
Well, they're gonna buy it, yeah.
Well, how will we know? You said this game. How will we know what this game is?
Rushing Beat X.
Yeah, I know, but you said that after I asked what game.
So how did you sell it?
So someone just messaged me in my DM and was like, "Hey, what is this game?" And I said Rushing Beat X, and they're like, and I sent them some gameplay, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm getting that."
Yo,
Well,
that is the funniest thing to me, because people could click on and see what you're playing, and then click on go to the store and see it, but like people will still just ask you.
okay. We're old, dude. We're old. We have to get confirmation by just fucking asking. Yeah, it happens all the time on the channel.
I had that interaction on Twitter the other day. Somebody was like, which the first part made sense, right? Because it was a really obscure clip, and I found out what it was. And they were like, what is this? And I was like, it's this. And then they were like, is it an MMO? And I was like, I gave you the name. Just Google it. Like, why are we continuing this exchange?
I hate that shit, bro. It's just like the people that comment.
Whole name.
They comment on my video, be like, "Oh, that's fucking wrong," and I was like, "My guy, that was the first 10 seconds. Like, did you even watch the rest of the fuck?" Like, bro, they just love it. They love it. They want somebody to sit in front of them, just tell them everything from front to back. It's like, dude, I can't help you. It's the whole reason I made the video is to tell you. But no, thank you guys so much for coming out with us tonight, man. As you guys know, we like to keep this thing tight, short and tight. But I want to say a huge thank you to Morgan and Innate for coming on the channel or on the podcast tonight. I'm going to give them a quick little outro. But before I do, guys, we are so close to hitting that 3,500 subscriber mark. We are 7 subscribers away. So share this with your family, share this with your boyfriend, girlfriend, your kids, maybe not your kids, but share this with your friends and family. Let them know that we do Will It Place with No Internet over here. Also, let them know that Innate and Morgan have their own podcast every Saturday, which I try to catch as much as I can. Innate, let them know what the podcast is and where they can find you at.
Yeah, it's the Otter podcast every Saturday. Granted, no technical issues, which there always are, but every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. EDT or EST, doesn't matter. Whatever time that it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast, that's when it is. So, whether it's daylight savings time or not. But yeah, you can catch us a lot like this, just chopping it up with a bunch of people who actually play games, unlike, those arguments on Twitter with all those people who watch games on YouTube, and that's the only thing they do. We are not them. So yeah, tune in and join in, and we always welcome conversation from the chat and just have a good time.
That's a fact. That's why I watch them, dude. I've been telling, like, I'm not a big podcast guy, but I did this one specifically for that reason. So many motherfuckers out here want to tell you what not to buy and what to buy, and they hardly play video games their own damn self. Where you can just listen to people like Inate's podcast, where they for real are gamers. They for real play games and beat games. Shit, you just heard Morgan talking about Crimson Desert. You heard her talking about the what was that other game you were playing on before Crimson Desert? It was the fuck it. You heard her talking about games, and that is why I invite them to the channel. That is why I give them the time to talk, because they know what the fuck they're talking about. Especially Innate. He games on PC. He games on PlayStation. He games on Xbox, on everything. Switch, on everything. So thank you guys. Morgan, let the people know where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can also find me on Hotter Players Podcast every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Trying to talk about games, because there are just so many great games. So what I always encourage people to do is just play your games. All right, do however you can, wherever you can. I don't care if it's PlayStation. PlayStation is my primary, preferred way to play, but you can play them however you want. I'm never gonna judge people whatever, wherever you like to play games, just play them. Okay, there's too many great games to be complaining online all day about how gaming is failing you. Telling you
Yes.
right now. Just open your mind and your heart to more than just like AAA, and you will be surprised how
Yep.
many great games there are out there.
Yep.
But yeah, keep gaming. I will definitely be trying to get on Will's show more often. I'm so sorry, Will, that I neglect you.
You do.
I'm not a very good friend. I know
Nope.
that. I apologize.
Yes, you should.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
Morgan's
love him
cool
dearly,
people.
though.
I told her, I was like, the reason because look, I say the same thing to most of my guests. It's like you could just tell me when you want to come. I honestly don't even have to ask you. If you want to come on, you want to come on, you want to get some shit off your chest. Same thing goes to all of you guys. This podcast isn't for people who only do podcasts or people that are online or socially known. Like, I do not care. You could have no subscribers, no channel. If you want to come in and shoot the shit with us, as long as you got a mic, we'll have you on, dude. Because gamers playing games is the best way of doing it. And look, me and Morgan are so similar in what we play. I mean, it's scary how similar we are and the same shit that we like and we don't like. That is insane. But I like to rely on Morgan a lot, or I like to see what she's playing a lot for shit that I may have not seen before. And we did that with a Crime Scene Cleaner. That was a game that I fucking saw you play.
And then you got me hooked on what was it? The Star Trucker.
Oh, Star Trucker.
Yes.
Did you beat it yet?
I'm mad at how much I like that game. No, I haven't beat it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm mad at how much I like that game. But
dude, I put
Morgan,
50
Morgan
hours.
was in the party chat talking about, oh my god, I'm losing air cabin pressure. Oh snap, man! Wait, no, not like this. No,
Wait a minute, I didn't
where the
put
lights
batteries.
at?
Fuck. Hold on,
Yeah.
I gotta go to the store. I gotta pull into the depot. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
she's
all
like,
the
I'm gonna
little
shut
things.
down these 3 systems. They're
Yeah.
not needed, so that I can
was
keep
turning off
running.
lights to save power.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Right here, turn them lights off.
Hell yeah. That's what I told Morgan. I was like, it's all the little things in it. Because people see Star Trucker, right? And they're like, oh, man, a truck game? And it's like, bro, there's so much more that goes into it. You know what I'm saying?
Much into it.
And that tension
I
is
love
what
it.
makes the game fun. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? Or whatever. But yeah,
I turn
no.
around and all of a sudden, all my shit in the back floating. I'm like, fuck the gravity, damn it.
Yeah, what you think of
I
that
need
planet with the invisible asteroids? Did you get there yet?
Dude, yes.
Oh my God.
gosh. That and then the area with like the heat, the bleeding heat. So you
Oh,
gotta
yes.
put
The shield
you gotta
up.
put the shield
visor.
down. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, it's dope,
good,
man. Yeah, and finally, my co-host, Mr. Nelson, Gaming Culture in the house. Nelson, Nelson has got a YouTube channel that you guys should go subscribe to. Nelson, let him know.
Oh.
No, Nelson's gaming culture.
Okay, Nelson's Gaming Culture. Go check it out. Nelson does playtime, or not playtime. That's my shit. He does pickup videos. He does gameplay videos, videos with him and his kids. So it's a good fun, especially if you're a family person who has kids and your kids play games and you play games. It's just a good way to relate to others who are in the same situation as you. So go check all these people out, man. Awesome gamers, and thank you guys so much for being here. We will catch you on Tuesday for the Just Playing live stream with RPG88 and Henry Heck. We'll see. Never mind. RPG doesn't have marathon, but we'll see what we'll get into. Maybe some Warhammer, who knows? And then we'll be back next week Sunday for another episode of Just Playing Live. And of course, we drop content every other day, guys. So if you need me to do a Will It Play with whatever game, we'll check it out if I own it. And if not, I'll put it on a wish list if I find it interesting. But let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Keep it gaming.
Bye, guys.